Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work.
The two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Good evening, lovely people. Hope you're well and welcome back to another Kop-ish Kall-in Show live. As always, when we get behind the mic, please make sure that you subscribe, comment and like. I'm doing my best Jason Derulo impression this evening. I'm riding solo. Matt and Drift aren't able to make the show. So please bear with me if there's any technical issues, hitches, hiccups, glitches, whatever. First and foremost, do let me know if you can hear me. Just throw up a comment or a one in the chat just to let me know you guys can hear me okay and that you can see me okay. There's no technical issues at the moment because that would be very awkward if that was the case. Hope you're all well this Friday. It's look, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. I've had a busy day, work, etc. And I've not listened to the press conference, but I've seen the quote. Guys, I've seen the quote, and I quote from Jurgen Klopp. We are already planning for next season. There are talks. We are busy. Player side positive. There are talks, but no decisions. We are as busy as you can imagine. Right. I've been accused of coming across quite negative recently and not being very optimistic and not seeing the glass as half full, but rather seeing it as half empty. I personally don't think I've been negative. I definitely haven't been positive. I just think I've been telling my truth and how I feel. If it's come across negative, that's not my intention, but I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm sitting here and I'm telling you today, right now, hearing those words from Jurgen Klopp has made me happy. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the summer. You guys don't know what's going to happen in the summer. Jurgen probably doesn't even know what's going to happen in the summer. But you see, when I hear quotes like that, that's what I need to hear. That's what I need to see from Klopp. Are we going to get Bellingham? Possibly not. Are we going to get Gavardio? Probably not. Are we going to get some of these players that are like, wish we could have those at Liverpool? Probably not. But if Klopp is looking at the team, how we collectively look at the team, and he's going with, yeah, you know what? Maybe I've rested on my laurels a bit. Maybe I have been a little bit too loyal to some of these players. And granted, loyalty is a good thing, but they can leave with respect and I can have respect for them. They can have respect for me. But ultimately, the only goal is for Liverpool to win stuff and be the best as possible. So some of these players will have to move on. This is positive. And I'm seeing some of you saying, take it with a pinch of salt. The words might not mean anything and always next season or in the summer. I have not heard Klopp speak about an upcoming transfer window like he has just then. And again, I've got to pull myself back a little bit because I haven't watched the press conference to say to you guys how he said it or the manner of which he said it. Was he answering a question or what? I'm just reading the quote for what the quote is. That for me gives me positivity. Now, the cynical side of me will be like, we're talking to players. Does that mean contract renewals or freebies who we might not be that happy about? But as I said, guys, seeing and hearing that news has put a smile on my face. And I do think it's a positive because it's a far cry from when we heard about midfield, when he was asked about midfield and he says, what type of midfielder do we need when we've got, and he listed out all the midfielders. I will sit here and I say, I don't know if he's talking about Jude. Doubt he is. Jude, we're not the only team in for Jude. I still don't think we get Jude because of what we actually need. I think getting Jude would kind of be counterproductive to an extent. But if we're going to get top players who improve the team, that allow us to play football that's scintillating, exciting, entertaining, and winning, then yeah, I'm on board. I'm on board. And I'll be honest with you. Best case scenario for Liverpool, in my opinion, is that Bellingham stays at Borussia Dortmund for one more season. Honestly. Because I think that will allow us to get other players that we need and then go from there. And then hopefully we solidify what we've done, comfortably finish in the top 4 next season, even mount a title challenge, and then go for Bellingham next summer. Whether he stays another year or not remains to be seen. But that's just my humble opinion. But if Klopp's going to get these players, we also know what we need the owners to do, and that is spend some money. And I'll be honest with you, because of the lack of spending over the last few years, because of the lack of addressing areas over the last few years, we need a big summer. And I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but I do think we need to spend upwards of 200 million. And that's before we even sell anyone. Player sales will be a bonus this summer, depending on who we sell, obviously. But we do need to buy players, and we need to buy the right ones. So I'm intrigued to see what you guys are thinking at the moment. I'm interested to see your thoughts and feelings on the situation at hand as well. So I'm going to open the phone lines pretty quickly because I don't want to sit here and waffle while you guys could be coming on and speaking to me. I'm going to be pretty strict with the time tonight because it is just myself. So I'm going to give you all 3 minutes to say what you've got to say, and then I'll respond and chop it up with you guys. But I'll be honest with you. From where I was last night to where I am now, after hearing what he said, I'm in a better mood, put it that way, because I was starting to get really, really worried about what was going on. So let's get it, people. Let's get it right. Come and join the chat, people. Come and join the chat. See what you got to say this evening. As always, guys, please do remain respectful to one another. Please do not disrespect anyone who calls in. It can be very daunting calling in. I've been doing this for a little while now, and it still is daunting going live sometimes. So please be respectful to everyone. Treat everyone with respect. And then we go from there, people. This is Team Kopish, and this is the way we like to work, people. Everyone is welcome. Let's do this. I got to start with a good friend of the channel, good friend, good personal friend as well. I haven't spoken to him properly in a little while, but big up to the one, the only Rams. Welcome to the show, bro.
Yo, what's going on, man? It's been a while. It's been a while to speak to
bro.
you.
How are you, man?
Give me a minute. I'll just shut the door. Just give me.
Yeah, go for it, man. It's been a little while since we had a Ram on the channel. Good friend of the channel, always chopped it up with us.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
guess
right,
over, innit? But I got time for Kopish, innit? Always have to have time.
We got time for you, bro.
Yeah. But I've heard about these comments about Klopp, and I'm like, I'm still going to reserve judgment, you know? I haven't really taken Klopp's points of view quite seriously ever since this season, and even, to be fair, the season before, because injury updates, all this stuff, I don't know what is true and what's not. So I'm like, actions speak louder than words. If you're saying you're going to look at transfers for next season, that's cool. But I kind of already expected it, because after every season, or even during the end or the last periods of the season, the manager's always looking forward and seeing what they could do to improve. So I'm going to take it with a pinch of salt. I'm not going to say he's going to go out and splash about £100 million on transfers. But hopefully it is a sign that the owners will give Klopp a little bit of money, and there will be some room for us to improve on certain personnel that comes in. Which brings me on to the question. So,
okay, my bro.
Cal, we've had the conversation outside Kop-ish, outside on
We've had a few,
WhatsApp.
to be fair.
That is true. But Jude Bellingham, seeing as though he doesn't come in, I came up together with the players that I wanted. I gave you the list. I gave you James Ward-Prowse, which you weren't really keen on.
Yeah.
A choice between Thuram, Akone, and Fofana, Yusuf Fofana. Matty Cash, Livramento. I don't think I mentioned the other two, Livramento or Kyle Walker-Peters. And I can't remember the last one. I think it might have been Philip Billing for the homegrown quota, which I'm a bit iffy on. That was a bit of a rush. And altogether, that would have cost around about circa 85 million.
You said 15 mil for Billing, 30 for Cash, so that's 45. Ward-Prowse, 65. 20 mil, so 65. And then one of Thuram, Fofana, and Kone for 30. So that would be 95 in total.
95. And then the 35 you could do for whatever. You could do it for a backup right wing if there's one available, or another midfielder, whatever. So what's your thoughts on that? And say it to the people. I already know your kind of thoughts on everything, but I don't agree with it, but we move. And what is your sort of ideal signings that you want to bring in? But yeah, that's pretty much it, really, man.
All right, I'm gonna hit that up now for you, then, my bro.
Yeah, man. Big up.
Big up yourself as always, man. We'll stay.
Yeah, man. Big up everybody. Big up Kopish, and big up the chat, man.
Bless you, bro. Have a
See
good one,
man.
All right. Rams knows I love him, but I was not impressed with that list. But he knows I love him. So if no Bellingham comes this summer, I would like, again, this isn't a secret to anyone. I know he's been linked heavily with Chelsea, but I'd like Manu Kone. For right back, either Kyle Walker-Peters or, in fact, no, I'm going to stick with Kyle Walker-Peters. I think Livramento, if I'm not mistaken, has had a few injuries. And again, I call me a bit pessimistic when it comes to that. We don't have the best of records, so I don't want us to go and get someone who's already injured or has a sort of sketchy injury record. So Kone, Kyle Walker-Peters. I'm going to say Evan and Dicker, only because I don't know if we can afford Gavardio. So Evan and Dicker comes on the 3. So I'm going to say Kone 30 mil. I'm going to say Kyle Walker-Peters if Southampton get relegated 15. So that's 45. Evan and Dicker would be a 3. So that covers me for centre back, right back. Another centre midfielder, I would go, and I know like this is going to annoy people and be like, oh, how can you do this after the season he's having? I'm still going to go for Matthias Nunes. I understand if people have reservations, fully understand. I just think there is a very good player in there, and I think in the right team, under the right manager, a la Klopp, I think he could go from strength to strength. I think he'd cost about 40 mil. So what are we on? That's 85 with my maths. And then I'm going Moussa Diaby. I'm going big for Moussa Diaby. So I reckon we could potentially prize him away for 65 mil. So I'm going to go Moussa Diaby. So again, you're still looking at around 150, 160 mil, but I think we need those players. And then my hope and my prayer would be that Bellingham and Gavardio stick at their clubs for at least one more season, and then we can capitalize on that the following summer. So that's what I would do. Just to recap, so Manu Kone, Kyle Walker-Peters, Evan Ndicka, Matthias Nunes, and Moussa Diaby. So that's my thoughts. Big up yourself as always, though, Rams. All right, I'm going to bring in the next caller. I'm going to call him Mr. Wick. Man like M. Tarmizi in the building.
Yo, what going?
How you doing, my bro?
I'm all good, man. Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm gonna watch the third time this weekend.
Yeah, me and the missus are hoping to catch it on Sunday, so it should be a good one.
Yeah, it will be. I spoke to. I mean, I had a chat with H on the Monday night, whilst you guys chopping at you and Matt. So yeah, it was one of those, man. It was one of those where the reminiscing and yeah. You know what, Kel? I'm gonna go straight to the questions here.
Go for it, bro.
It was a it was great listening. You guys, shout out to Daps, chopping out for the
Big
preview
up
this weekend.
Yeah.
Um, and then on the prem panel, you guys talk about Thiago, and you said that you know how he followed up to the instructions, what he did um under Klopp's instruction, like
Yeah.
run to the ground, and then with the injuries and all that. If we didn't get to sign Thiago, but instead KDB played for us, do you think it'll be the same thing happen to KDB? So it'll be an interesting one because KDB belongs to that luxury type of play, in it, like what Thiago uh viewed as a fan for us, and
Hmm.
also the in the Champions League, I'm intrigued how City against Bayern with because the Thomas Tuchel now is in the helm at the dugout. So if you're Thomas Tuchel, how do you approach that game against City? Because it's like it's a battle of chess. You know what I'm saying? Because Tuchel always have this element of surprise, like what he did for Chelsea against
Yeah.
City, and that season they won against the Champions League. And lastly, the third one, do you reckon that your view in football in general is different to 10 to 15 years ago? Like because I think back in the days we have the I don't know if you guys I don't know if you remember, Cal. There's a thing called Setanta Sports, and then
Yes.
there's a punditry explanations post game, before the game, and then we
Yeah.
used to watch that, along the 90 minutes. So I feel like our views back in the days, it's like we bought into the ideas, but then now it's just like we have a lot of streams and subscriptions. In times has changed, but I guess you can say a mix of we age as well, like we've already, like we're grown up, and over the years, because we play football, probably our view just got influenced by how we play as a footballer, like
Mm.
not to the extent being a pro, but just for fun and all that. So it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts on it. But
Oh, big
that's just
question.
it. Yeah, that's just it. Big up to you, solo takeover this week,
Yeah.
and I'll be chopping up for the viewers reaction. But
Nah,
Kel,
bless you, man.
yeah, thanks
Bless you,
for having
bro.
me.
I'm gonna hit you
Yeah,
up as soon as I finish watching John Wick as well. So look out for a
definitely,
message.
for sure. Yeah,
Nah,
looking
bless you,
forward.
bro. Have a good
Yeah,
week, bro.
you too.
All right,
Likewise.
nice one.
Bless, love.
Right. I'm gonna start with the Thiago one because I know I'm in a few people's bad books when I said I would let Thiago's contract run down and potentially not renew him if Klopp's still here. And I think a lot of people took that as me saying I don't think Thiago's good enough. Thiago's our best centre midfielder, and it's not even close. But him breaking down so often actually hinders us rather than helps us because we can't put a run together with our best centre midfielder. And it forces the team to have so many changes in how we play, how we approach games. Case in point, tomorrow. I don't think we'll win tomorrow. If Thiago and Bichetic are fit, I think we do actually go there and get a victory. But we can't plan around Thiago. So the only way we can keep Thiago is if the rest of the team and the rest of the midfielders are readily available for most of the time. And that's not the case either. So that's why I potentially wouldn't keep Thiago. But look, if we were to sort out midfield and Thiago is still around, then obviously I'm not going to complain because he is our best centre midfielder. What I do think, though, is his playing style and Kevin De Bruyne's are different. Kevin De Bruyne is more of a machine in the sort of way he gets and approaches the game. He's very press heavy, especially in Pep's system. And he's proven his body doesn't break down as much, but he has been rotated better than what Thiago and the rest of our team is. They have more quality than us, but again, that's also down to a lack of trust that Klopp has in the rest of his players for one reason or another. But Thiago has to stay fit, and I think if De Bruyne had signed instead of Thiago, I don't think we have as many injury issues with De Bruyne. I genuinely don't, and they're just different players. I'm not going to sit here and say one's better than the other, because one is a deep line playmaker and the other one is an all action attacking midfielder. But their effectiveness, you could say, is pretty equal. And I think the difference between Liverpool and City is that De Bruyne can stay fit for most of the season, whereas Thiago can't, unfortunately. Bayern Munich versus Manchester City. I think Tuchel going there changes that tie and the magnitude of it now. I would have said City go through. Tuchel going there, I think, changes everything. Nagelsmann, I think, only knows how to play one way, and he's very stubborn in his approach. If you guys think Klopp's stubborn, Nagelsmann's a whole nother level of stubbornness, in my opinion. And he, in my opinion, doesn't have the longevity to provide that stubbornness. Tuchel, if he sees the game going wrong, will revert to type and say, you guys sit back and keep the score low, and we do this and we hit them on the break or do whatever. I think Tuchel will be able to mix things up better than what Nagelsmann would have. And I think it gives Pep more things to think about. And the more things Pep has to think about, the more he overthinks. When he overthinks, he tends to lose ties. I think if he was playing against Nagelsmann, I think he would have absolutely out-tactic, out-thought, and his team would have pretty much beat them quite comfortably over 2 legs. Don't think that happens with Tuchel. And again, I know Tuchel, again, splits opinions. I will sit here and I will still say, I think Tuchel is a fantastic manager. Fantastic manager. For whatever reason, he doesn't seem to be that likable by a lot of people, but he's a brilliant manager. Like, what he achieved at Chelsea with that team winning the Champions League, I don't think can be understated. Granted, it didn't go well for him the season after, but in the same way we can sit here and talk about how we root injuries, they got hits with injuries last season. They lost both of their wing-backs. And before they lost their wing-backs, they were flying in the league. Let's not act like we didn't see what Chelsea were doing before they lost their players last season. And I think that gets lost on a lot of people. We as Liverpool fans we as a fan base shouldn't be laughing at Chelsea for that happening, because we've seen it happen to us. And just to put that into perspective, their wing-backs, in my opinion, were the 2 most important players to their system. In the same way, if we had taken, I don't know, Virgil and I'm going to say Salah out of the team for the first half of last season, we wouldn't have started the season how we started. So I think Bayern Munich, I don't know. Actually, I'm still calling City to win the Champions League. So by that admission, I've got to say that City go through, but I think it's a much tougher game now. My views on football now versus 15 years ago. Well, 15 years ago, I was quite young, so I don't think I really understood football, or life in general, as much as I do now. So, and again, I've not even figured life out, I'd say so. But I've got a lot more knowledge now than I had 15 years ago. Just to put it in perspective, I've married, kids, more bills, more working longer hours. So that in itself helps me to have a better perspective on life and football. One thing I will say, it seemed as though football was a lot simpler back in the days. 15 years ago, it seems very complicated as a sport now. And that's because I think, and look, I'm probably going to get cussed for this, but as content creators, we feed into that as well. We speak about things that were never spoken about on TV. I never once grew up and saw on Setanta Sports or Match of the Day them speaking about finances, owners, fitness behind the scenes, mental health, which is something that should have always been spoken about, but that wasn't even a thing back in the day. It was man up. That was the phrase back in the day. It was man up, deal with it. Social media wasn't really prevalent 15 years ago. So many things go into football now that I think the sport's been complicated. Still love the sport, but I remember, I'm going to sound like a really old person, but I remember a simpler time. Football doesn't feel simple now. It feels very complicated, and there's very many facets that go into football. But I think there's more representation now of football views. And if I'm gonna give ourselves a pat on the back as content creators and all the others that create content, whether you agree or disagree with their content, I think we have played a massive role in that. I've got a shout out to AFTV because they were one of the first to kind of pioneer this movement. I'm glad people like us have a voice. I'm glad like people like you have a voice, because that was getting lost. It was mainly ex-players or people who were sort of in the football world who would speak on behalf of a whole fan base, whereas we don't have that now. You've got people like, just to put it into context, I could probably reel off about 15 Liverpool YouTube channels, all with completely different views about one team. That for me is very good. That, like, I find that very refreshing. I'm not able to keep up with all of them, but when I can, I'll tune in and I'll watch. And I'll tell you guys openly, Jamie's probably in the chat here. Luke from 8092 Reds TV. I've said this to them. I'll say it behind their back. I'll watch their show and I take inspiration, and I'll look at some of the stuff they do and I'll implement it when I'm hosting a show or things like that as well. So I do think the movement of content creators, and look, you've got content creators like the Football Daily guys who are running like TV shows on Sky Sports now. I don't think that's been lost on the players that be at the top of the food chain with that. So I'm glad football's evolved. I'm glad that more of us have got a platform to speak, whether we're right or wrong. Obviously, I know I get it wrong a lot. I get some things right and I get a lot wrong. But yeah, I'm glad that's happened, and hopefully there's more representation in the future and keeps on going that direction. All right, let's get the next caller in. Talks Michael. Can you hear me, bro?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Before you get started, is this your first time?
I think I've called in many months ago. But now that you actually, because it's late here for me, so it's a good time for me to call in. Oh, finally.
Nice. Welcome to the show, bro. How are you?
Good. Is it going to be a 7-hour stream today?
No.
I remember I woke up last, I think it was Saturday, and I was like, 6 hours? Nah, it's a commitment from you guys. Big up to you guys. You guys have a legendary channel, in my opinion. Oh, what do we talk about today? When it comes to Klopp and his press conferences, I haven't watched them in years, to be honest. I haven't watched any manager's press conferences. I find them boring because journalists just keep asking the same questions. This, transfers, tactics. For me, it's boring. The only one I've watched recently is Conte, because that was like a WWE promo. Man was coming in like CM Punk and dropping the pipe bomb. Yeah. It was amazing. That was the best promo I've seen in football in years. But it gives me some encouragement, but I don't eat those words, because I need to see action in the summer. He can say all he wants, but when he gives that contract extension to Milner and maybe another guy, then I'm going to have a discussion again. Like, what are you doing, Klopp? We clearly need a new midfield. And he's saying we might have already 2 to 4 signings. I feel like Ndika is done. And he's a decent center back, because Frankfurt just signed a new center back. So he's going to be leaving the club anyway. So I feel like he's coming to Liverpool. I've actually watched him play. He's decent. He'll be a backup for us. Is he going to start? He better not. I'll just say that he better not start for us, because he is not Liverpool quality. But as a backup, I think he's actually quite decent in my opinion. Left-footed, so we don't have any left-footed center backs, which is an added plus. Then it comes to the midfield options. Now I heard Rams' midfield options. I'm not gonna lie, that just sounds like bangers and mash to me. Bro, I need some peri chicken in this midfield. It's been dry. It's so dry. I need peri sauce. I need some flavor. Give me Ederson from Atalanta. This midfielder, Ederson, he's a baller. If we could get him, because you see the Højlund guy, the Danish guy. Yeah. I mean, Atalanta, they just produce ballers. So they clearly have a good scouting system. And I see Ederson. I'm intrigued. I look at Ugarte. We saw how he balled out against Arsenal. These are the sort of guy. They're not going to cost ridiculous numbers, because I still don't believe Jude Bellingham is going to come, in my opinion. I just feel like once it gets to 150 million, FSG are going to be like, nope, we're out of here. We're going to act like TNA back in the day in wrestling. We're just not going to pay that. We're not going to pay the extra fees to get the guys. So this is kind of my big worry. If we don't get Jude Bellingham, and it's kind of similar situation to last season, we don't get Chouameni, and then we're just like, we're clueless. What are we going to do next? So this is my big worry. If we don't get Jude Bellingham, what's going to be Klopp's B, C, D? Clearly, during this international break, they must have had a constructive breakdown on what they must do next. What do we sign? If we can't get Jude Bellingham, what do we need to do? If they don't have any plan, then I am worried for this club. Then if we do not make the significant signings we need to make in the summer, I feel like we're going to be Europa League. We're just going to hear, I hate
that theme. I hate that theme.
Cal, because I live here in Finland, I have watched that, and I have heard it too many times supporting my club here in Finland. It is dreadful, absolutely dreadful, and it's the same thing for the Conference League has a different tune. So hopefully we don't have to hear that, because that would be even worse. Or we have to play in Gibraltar, the Gibraltar Rock, or see trains running in the background. I do not want that sort of vibe for Liverpool. It would be bad. No. But my last question is for you, because I know you're a UFC guy.
Yes.
Next weekend. Yes, Adesanya Pereira, Gilbert Burns, and Jorge Masvidal. Yeah. Give me your early thoughts on that. But what's one midfielder? Would you get Ugarte if we could get him? Because I'm looking at Fabinho. I mean, he could be playing in the MLS right now. Generally. So yeah, big up, Cal. Have a good one, bro.
Before you go, bro, a couple of people have said you've got a channel.
Yeah, I got a channel. Yeah, Michael Talks Football. Michael Talks Football. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan, by the way, guys. But my channel, I do all sorts of content on football because I can't talk about this club. It gives me a headache.
I'm in, man.
Cool.
Bro, hit me up. We'll do some work together.
Cool. Because I can give you some scouting on European talents out there.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Actually, I was just doing research on the Ecuadorian club because Moises Caicedo is from that club. Now. Yeah. I was reading about the club has a 20% sell-on fee for him. So that's why Brighton want like 80 to 100 million for him. Oh. Yeah.
Okay. So that's
you know the Hinchapie center back?
Yeah.
He's from that club. This club, they got like 10 ballers in Europe. It's ridiculous.
So bro, let me ask you a question before you go. You know that Brighton have just extended his contract. Does that negate or change the terms that they had with the club then? Or
no, it's 20% no matter what.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, bro. If we could sign Moises Caicedo, I would do it in a heartbeat. I think he's a baller. He's only gonna get better.
He's great.
Yeah, but we're Liverpool. We don't have money.
I know, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Like, come on, we have such high revenue, and we can't. Bournemouth with Creed money are spending more than us. God, this can't make sense. We're Liverpool Football Club. We have 6 Champions Leagues, and we're getting outspent by Creed money. Leeds United? Nah, I'm not for this. You know, actually, Cal, that the Pittsburgh Penguins, because they're obviously owned by FSG, they're already complaining about them. It's been a year.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm done. I'm done with these owners. They just, for me, because, I'm not really the biggest fan of Klopp right now. I think tactically, I just look at him like, I'm watching tomorrow's game. I'm like, we're gonna play Milner and Henderson in midfield, guarantee. Like Charles Barkley says, guarantee, and we're gonna get overrun. It doesn't, because I think Haaland didn't trade today, so I doubt he's gonna start the match because he didn't play for Norway because he was injured. But I mean, tomorrow's game, I'm worried. I'm really worried.
Same, bro.
But wouldn't it just be us, Cal, that we beat Man City somehow, we draw to Chelsea, then we beat Arsenal, and then we lose to Leeds?
Yeah. I was going to say, literally, that would be the most Liverpool thing this season.
Yeah. To me, being a Liverpool fan, this is probably the weirdest season I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we lost to Blackpool twice in one season. I thought that was bad. Yeah, but this season, we're getting slapped up left, right, and center. We're winning 7-0, 9-0.
As well. It's like
makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. But big up, Cal. I'll let other callers come
bro. And look, stay in contact, bro. We'll do some work.
We'll do. Man. We'll do.
Big up, bro.
Big up.
Nice one. Great call from Michael there. Great call. I enjoyed that. Right, let me hear up his questions and his thoughts. Reckons Evan Ndicka's a done deal. I hope so. Look, everyone knows how much I rate Gvardiol. I just don't think it's realistic this summer. Again, my dream is that him and Bellingham stay at their clubs for one more season, especially Gvardiol. Bellingham, I see him moving this summer. Gvardiol, I think RB can keep him for one more season. I've been screaming out for us to get a left-footed centre-back. In fact, I'll go as far back to say when we lost Lovren, I was asking the club to buy Evan Ndicka at that time. And I think it just gives us that tactical flexibility. And I know Klopp doesn't do it and hasn't used it. if I'm not mistaken, he's played a back three once. That was against Brighton in 17-18, and Genie played in the back three. Him getting a left-footed centre back would allow us to play a back three comfortably. And let me present this to you. Let's say Matip stays. Virgil or Matip play in the middle of the three. Ndika on the left, and Konate or Gomez on the right. That for me is pretty solid. And on a free, I think you can do a lot worse than Evan Ndika. As a starter, probably not. I don't think he pushes Van Dijk out of the team. But what I will say is if Van Dijk's having a bad time or he's injured and Evan Ndika's a player to come in, I'm a lot more confident of him coming in than Joe Gomez as things stand. What's the plan B/plan C if Bellingham doesn't come in the same way we didn't have one for Tchouameni? Michael, brother, I have no idea. And that's what worries me. And to go on what you said as well, that actions speak louder than words, I fully agree. Look, call me easy, innit? Like Klopp spoke today and look at me, I'm smiling again, like he's back in my good books. But look, I'm a sucker. I love Klopp, innit? Like Klopp's my guy. A lot of you think I hate Klopp or want him out. Klopp's my guy. I don't want him to go anywhere. I just want him to change his methods and his thought process. But let me tell you something. If this summer rolls around and we don't get Bellingham, but we don't do anything else, I'm going to be very upset with Jurgen. Like, I've been annoyed this season, but it's going to go from annoyed to anger, and I don't want that to become a thing. But we need to have a plan B, plan C, and plan D if need be as well. This relates a little bit back to Ramsey's first question, first caller as well. Would I take Ugarte? Absolutely. I prefer Kone, but if we get Ugarte over Kone instead of Kone, okay, like over the moon with that. Out of all of those ball-winning midfielders, though, and I didn't mention him, I forgot, Declan Rice is the one I want. Again, I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm not a hot drink man anyway, so Declan Rice, for me, you look at his figures, and you look at his stats, you look at how he plays, and you look at the team he's playing in, and if he'd be able to level up, I think Declan Rice is what we need right now. I'd probably go as far to say Declan Rice would probably make more of an impact in Liverpool's midfield now than Jude Bellingham. Not saying Bellingham isn't a better player before anyone comes from me, but I think Declan Rice right now makes a bigger impact for Liverpool than Jude Bellingham if they were to sign today, based on their characteristics and what they offer to the team. And UFC early predictions for next week. So I'm going to be doing a watch along with Luke Tanner on the Sanderson Show for that. So if anyone's into MMA, please do follow the Sanderson Show and subscribe to that channel. Almost on 1,000 subs. So I would like to get to 1,000 subs by the end of April. That would be nice. So predictions are difficult for me for next week. Adesanya is one of my favorite fighters, but I think he's coming up against an opponent that I just think has his number. I think Adesanya could beat Pereira up for four rounds and 3 minutes of the last round, and I think he still lose because Pereira just has that equalizer. And unfortunately, I don't think Izzy has the power to stop Pereira. We've seen him rock Pereira and hurt him in their kickboxing fights and in the first UFC fight they had in the first round. But Pereira's powers of recovery and his power is just different. And unfortunately, I don't think anyone in the middleweight division can take Pereira's power. So I think he does it. Masvidal, again, another one of my favorites. I like Gilbert Burns, but Masvidal, another one of my favorites. Plus, I want Masvidal to win, not because I don't like Burns, but because I want to see Masvidal and Leon Edwards at the O2. And I'd love to be there as well. But I don't see Masvidal getting past Burns. I actually think Masvidal gets stopped by TKO or he gets stopped by submission. But more likely TKO, in my opinion. All right, big up Michael. And Michael, yeah, we'll do some work together, man. I like how you speak and your points of views and your European knowledge is something that I'd like to learn a bit more about as well. Right, let's get the next caller in. Sam, aka DH Chainsaw. How you doing?
Yo, Cal. Hope you're doing well. I've got a lot of questions, and obviously, when you're listening to other callers, then questions keep building up as you go on. And one thing I would say is obviously big up your channel.
Big up.
I'm trying to get into UFC, but it is what it is. I'll just support you and then pretend I understand what's happening. And
Appreciate you.
And I'll hopefully watch John Wick this weekend as well. This is relating to M. Tarmizi because he mentioned Matoma last week, and he said that Matoma is going to be like Taki, like this one season wonder, and then he won't perform as well next season. But the thing is, how could you say that when Mitoma did it in the Premier League, Taki did it outside the Premier League? So Mitoma's proven himself in the Premier League. He's Premier League proven. So if he did join our club, let's say, then there isn't any question marks. There shouldn't be any like question marks. Can he do it? He's done it in the Premier League. He's done it to Virgil, Alisson, and so forth. So he can do it. And you mentioned Klopp as well earlier. What if you were asking Klopp a question, or Klopp was on here, and he said, "Cal, what do you know about football? Have you played football?" If he asked you that question because you question his tactics, how would you feel? Because I know you like Klopp, and I'm not trying to, bring pitchforks to Cal's house. But like, if Klopp said that to you on here or anywhere, where he's like, "Why are you questioning me? Have you played football? Do you understand football?" If he said those kind of questions to you, how would you feel? Because I know deep down it'll get violent off screen with Klopp and you. So I like Klopp as well, but just like when Michael said he doesn't listen to press conferences, I don't listen to press conferences because Klopp, you could be a sore loser, but then you can't get disrespectful like that. And that's one thing. Whenever Klopp says something like, this summer coming up, it's going to be transfers, new players, they're looking into it. I can't trust him until he actually delivers the people. We see the signed shirts and all the contract signed. Then I could trust Klopp in regards to that. But at the moment, I don't know. I've been flip-flopping, saying that we're winning the league, Champions League. Now I'm praying for top 4. So it's been like that overall this season. And I know the time is quickly coming to an end.
No, you're good, bro.
KDB was mentioned. He's never won a Premier League Player of the Month, which is mad.
Whoa.
But he's won, I think, PFA, if I'm correct. Someone could correct me with that. But he's never won a Player of the Month, which is insane. And then Thiago was mentioned. Do we overrate Thiago in the sense that you say 10 out of 10, and then above that is Alcantara? Does he deserve that? Because what has he done that Xabi Alonso hasn't done? What Steven Gerrard hasn't done? How did he get elevated to the highest pinnacle of the ratings when this guy goes more? He's just constantly missing. Like, I don't have an thing to say to that, but like, are we elevating him to like the status of like eliteness, but he's never there? Where is he when we need him? Like, because I don't think he'll play tomorrow, would he?
No,
I think he's injured again. He's missing.
Injured.
When we need him, where are you?
Yeah.
And then we attack Naby and Ox and those guys, but this guy, he has the talent, but we need you, because tomorrow we're not going to win without him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's Liverpool for you this season. But obviously, I won't be surprised if we do win tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be very surprised.
But it's the typical thing that we've done this season.
Yeah, true.
And then on my birthday, we lost 1-0 to Bournemouth, which was the last Premier League game. So thank goodness there was international break. There was no Liverpool, no negativity.
Yeah,
the fan base was together for like 2 weeks, and now we're
about to get separated again.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse. So I'm just hoping everything goes smoothly, and everyone stays together, supports one another. I've seen Endsman TV. Who I've been on his channel, like commenting. Obviously Michael, and I've known him from other channels. He doesn't like my opinions because I said we'll get third this season over Man U. Clearly that's not going to happen, but I dreamt. big up M Mizzy. I love his opinions as well,
Yes.
and everyone else from here. Big up and love to the chat.
I bless you, bro. Always a pleasure seeing you, man.
See, hopefully next week, but obviously, you know.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right,
Peace.
big up, bro. You have a good one, man. Big up to Chainsaw DH. Right, I'm gonna start with the Klopp one. All right, so let me caveat this. I'm a very sore loser. Like, I'm a really sore loser. Like, no matter what game I'm playing, I'm highly competitive and I'm a really sore loser. But as I've gotten older, I've got better at suppressing how sore of a loser I am. So I may seem like I'm laughing it out of a situation, but really deep down, I'm furious. And I put this into context. For my missus' birthday recently, we went and played Monopoly Live, and our team finished second. And you know, everyone was laughing and joking. Deep down, I was furious. Like, I was livid, but I thought, it's my missus' birthday. I don't want to ruin it. We don't even know the team that beat us. Blah, 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 blah. I get that sense from Klopp that he's an extremely sore loser. The difference between myself and Klopp with losing, though, I try absolutely everything to not be disrespectful to anyone when I'm losing, because I feel you're almost a reflection of yourself at your low points, and I don't like the idea of taking out your anger on someone who doesn't deserve it. And I feel as though he does do that. Like, he does it a lot. And this goes back to Michael as well, Chainsaw, when he said he doesn't listen to Klopp press conferences, and because he says they're boring and journalists ask the same questions. And I mean, we're going to speak about this with like MMA and stuff. And like anyone who knows outside of Kopish, I do a lot of interviews with people for work and stuff like this. Being a journalist it can be a very sticky situation, especially if that's your livelihood. If that's your only form of income, being a journalist is very difficult. And I put that into context, guys. I've got a wife, I've got kids. If being a journalist was my only job, I have to make a decision of, do I say stuff that I really think or really want to hear, or that the fan base really want to know, or do I ask questions that's going to allow me to keep my job? And to be honest, I don't get angry with journalists now. What I do get angry with is the people they're asking questions to, because they're clearly setting a precedent that if you get or ask a question that they don't like, you get blackballed. I don't like that. I actually really dislike that. And I feel as though that's happening a lot with Klopp interviews and Klopp press conferences. Certain questions have been asked and you've seen how he's chewed out journalists. And I'm like, I don't like that. You may disagree or get angry in the moment, but it feels as though certain journalists have been blackballed or are going to be blackballed if they ask certain questions. So I understand that. As to my response, and again, I know this is hypothetical and a lot of people will say I'm capping and all this. If I ask Klopp a question and he turned around and says, you've never played football at the highest level, you don't know what you're talking about, I would go back and forth with him. I love Klopp, but just on a human aspect, the arrogance that comment has for me is just ridiculous, because that would be the equivalent of me saying something on here and someone in the comments going, Cal, I don't agree with that. And then me turning around saying, have you got a YouTube channel? No, then your opinion's invalid. Like that's crazy. Before I was a driver and I had a driver's license, I could still get in the car with someone and tell whether they were a good driver or not, or competent at the wheel. You don't have to have been in a role or a job all the time to notice if someone's doing something wrong. Granted, it might help, but sometimes it can make you go the other way, and it makes it that you keep on harping on about your personal experiences as opposed to what's actually going on. So it can cloud your judgment. It works both ways. So this narrative of have you played at the highest level, you can't say anything, is one of the most arrogant things you can say. It's as arrogant as it gets. And I say that as a content creator, I say that as a human being. If you're doing something wrong and someone calls it out, just take it on the chin and try and change for the better. But I don't know if Klopp would do that. But if Klopp said that to me, I would have a back and forth. I think you guys know what I'm like anyway. I'd have a back and forth with him, and what to be will be after that. Matoma, sorry, being Prem proven. Yeah, that's true. I don't think Taki left the league being Prem proven, so I agree with that. I still don't think he's going to be a one season wonder. I actually think Matoma is going to go on to be a better player. If he goes to a top club, I see him having a really good career in England. Very surprised KDB's never won a Player of the Month award, especially last season. If I'm not mistaken, that going into the back end of last season, I think the league finished in May? If I'm not mistaken, May, he pulled off didn't he pull off back-to-back hat-tricks and then got the assist in the final game of the season to win the league? Player of the Month should have been De Bruyne for the last month of the season minimum. But again, the guy is special. Everyone knows my thoughts on De Bruyne. He is the closest thing to Steven Gerrard I've seen in the Premier League since Steven Gerrard. I rate him that highly, and he's the one player we haven't gone for in the past that I really wish we had, because I think we would have had a completely different outlook on this team and been in a different position. Do we overrate Thiago? No, we don't. And the reason I say that is because, yes, the injuries are absolutely mad. They are. And it winds me up. And Naby doesn't get the same energy. Ox don't get the same energy. But with all due respect to Naby and Ox, they can't pull off performances like Thiago. I'll go back to his first game in a Liverpool shirt. Came off the bench at halftime to play Chelsea and broke a passing record. That run in that season when we had to go and get top four, him and Fabinho in a double pivot, Thiago was immense. Last season when he played, immense. This season when he's played, he's been very good. Some of the performance he's pulled off, the Man United game last season when we beat them 4-0. Oh, I ain't seen a midfield performance like that since the days of Alonso and Gerrard and Mascherano. In fact, scratch Mascherano from that. All due respect to him, I ain't seen a performance like that since them two. That midfield performance was about as complete as it gets. His goal against Porto last season, did it or did it not touch the ground? We're throwing up meme competitions about Thiago goals. For me, he's not overrated, but we haven't used him right. And that's my biggest frustration. Really, really think we've missed a trick with Thiago. He should have been a luxury player, a player that plays against the big six teams and then plays here and there. But we've tried to turn him into a workhorse. We tried to turn him into Genie Wijnaldum when he's never been that type of player. And I change it like this. Can you imagine if we told Xabi Alonso in his prime, I want you to do box to box Mascherano work? You'd be looking at Rafa going, what are you doing? You play Xabi Alonso as a deep line playmaker, you do the same with Thiago. You let him do what he does. And that for me is the biggest annoying situation, but I don't think he's overrated. Right. Next caller, Mr. Receipts, Jamal. Can you hear me, bro?
I can hear you. You can hear me, right?
I hear you, my bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good, Carl. But Liverpool is playing tomorrow, so then I wouldn't be good. Because you know what's funny? When we beat Manchester United 7-0, I would have gladly took a 1-0 and then actually beat Bournemouth 1-0 and then beat Real Madrid 3-0 and actually stay in the Champions League. Because when we win that 7-0, I didn't want to say nothing, but I knew we wasn't going to score. We haven't scored since that game.
Yeah.
I know that was going to happen. It's like we just score all our goals and that's it. That's for the month. So it's mad, man. It's mad. But the question I want to ask about is Salah. Because I've been going through his numbers. And I think he have 22 goals and 11 assists.
Yeah.
But he has been feces this season. He hasn't been good. Yeah, I'm going to use that. Yeah, he's been feces. This have to be one of the weirdest seasons ever cut. Because Salah has been atrocious, but bro, the guy has 22 goals and 11 assists in 38 games. So that's 33 GA in 38 games. That is mad.
Yeah.
So I want you to explain or make sense of this Salah season. Because, bro, and you know what's a funny thing? People might say, oh, well, half of them 22 goals are penalties. He has only scored one penalty this season.
Penalty this season.
No penalties. So this have to be the maddest. I don't know if it's a good season or a bad season. So I want you to explain this Salah season because, bro, 33 GA and there's still 11 or 12 games to go. That's bad. You know Salah could end up on 29 goals or 30 goals overall this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
mad.
then yeah, it is. And then I was listening to Rams and that transfer window. I mean, that's a Tranmere transfer window. That's a QPR transfer window. Billing and Ward Prowse. No disrespect to Ward Prowse because, bro, he's playing at an elite level. And he's a millionaire. And I'm just a guy from Trinidad. So I'll never be as good as Ward Prowse. But, bro, he is a finished article of Charlie Adam, the highest level of a Charlie Adam. The guy's dead, man. I'm sorry, no disrespect. I mean, the guy's from an elite level and he's a millionaire. But he's dead, man. I don't want Ward Prowse anywhere near Liverpool, man. He's meaty.
No, I hear that.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to talk about, Carl, is we're getting Bellingham. I know you're scared, and I know you think we will get him, but we are getting him, and we're taking points off our City tomorrow. Because I'm going to say this. You remember you said we was going to lose against City in the first game, and Salah sent Cancelo to Munich.
Yeah.
You said we was going to lose against Manchester United, and we end up winning. You know the score, and you also said against Spurs that we was going to lose that game as well. You said you were shocked, to be fair, and we beat Spurs as well. So I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if we win, but I'll leave you with that, Carl.
No, I hear you.
And so next week again, man. Peace out.
Bless you, bro. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Cool. I'll start off with my predictions this season for games. My predictions have been smelly, you guys. Like, this has been my worst season prediction-wise. I predicted a win against Bournemouth, we lose. I predicted a loss against United, we win. Seems as though I might as well just say we... But here's the thing, I genuinely believe my prediction, so I can't just start saying we're going to lose just so we try and win. Like, I genuinely believed we were going to lose those games. It just goes to show how inconsistent we are. We only go out for the big games, it seems, and we get complacent in the quote-unquote smaller games. Bellingham definitely coming. I still don't see it happening. I think there's so many factors and variables I don't see it happen, but I pray to God I'm wrong. James Ward-Prowse, again, I believe he might be, in my opinion, the second best free kick taker in the world behind Messi. May even argue he's the best in the world. But I don't think anyone would be silly to say he's the best in the world if they said that. But you take that out of his game, and I don't think he has any other standout qualities. And I know people will say him being a set-piece specialist will be a weapon for Liverpool. It's only a weapon if he's on the pitch, though. I don't think the rest of his game would allow him to play as many games for us to utilize that weapon. So I don't think that happens. I don't think it benefits us. Mo Salah running down the wing. Salah, the Egyptian king. He's royalty. But I've got to agree, he hasn't been great this season. But here's what's mad. If any other winger in the league had played 38 games and had 33 goals and assists combined, we'd be talking about this player as he's the greatest player since sliced bread. This is where it's so difficult to judge Salah. This is what has made him both undroppable, but also frustrating to a lot of fans as well. I think Salah's magical, but I can't sit here and look at his stats and say everything's been all right. I've got to keep the same energy. I said this about Mane. The season Mane wasn't good, or the year Mane wasn't good. Me and Drift would go back and forth all the time. Big up Drifty. We go back and forth all the time and be like, but Drift, look, the numbers don't do it for me because what's he doing in the game? How many of those assists or how many of those goals have been the first goal of a game or the winning goal of a game? Not to say that goals don't matter, no matter when you score them, they do, but there's a massive emphasis on the first goal in the game or the winning goal of a game. But also performances as well. Guys, you can have a bad game and score a goal. It's not that the two aren't like mutually exclusive. Like you can have a terrible game and score a world-class goal. That doesn't mean you had a world-class game. And I think sometimes that gets masked. And I think that's been masking Salah's performances this season. Like last season, he was scoring goals, fair enough. But let's be honest, he was on a madness last season. I think everyone will sit here and say, in my opinion, his two best games last season were Watford away and Man City at home. In the game against Watford, I think he got 1 goal, 2 assists, maybe. In the game against Man City, he got 1 goal, 1 assist. He played better in those games than he played in the Man United game where he got a hat-trick. He played better in those games than other games where he scored hat-tricks or braces. Nah, our man, I'll be real with you. That Man United game, he doesn't come close to the Watford and the Man City game. It doesn't. He was excellent in that Manchester United game, but you see that Watford game. Don't forget about the assist to Mane, the first one, the outside of his foot. I think then he assisted Bobby with one of the goals. He then remember he scored the mad goal where he sat down. So I think it was Cathcart and then bent it around Danny Rose. He had Danny Rose on toast for the whole game. That performance was elite. Then the Man City one, let's be real. He takes the game by the scruff of the neck, says, what? I'm going to just beat 3 players and lay it on a plate for Mane. Oh, what? Bernardo Silva's here. Cancelo's there. Who? I don't care. I'm going to go through and I'm going to score a worldie again. Like, these are the sort of levels that he set. So again, like his stats are excellent, but his performances aren't. And you can have brilliant stats and still not be having a good season. But what I will say is I want to see that energy for all players. I need to see that energy for all players, not just your Salahs. And again, this happened with Ronaldo last season. Like, Ronaldo last season got good numbers, but no one can sit here and tell me Ronaldo had a good season last season because he didn't. The numbers aren't the be-all and end-all. They help a lot. Obviously, they help a lot. But we have to see it for what it is. And football's a 90 minutes game, not a TikTok. And right now, if you break down Salah's game into TikToks, he looks like the greatest player to ever have played. But if you watch a 90 minutes game, you're looking and thinking Salah's playing below par here. But I'll end by saying it's not all his fault. Been overplayed, system changes, formation changes, new personnel. The team behind him, in my opinion, not creating enough for him. So there's variables to it as well. All right. Let's get the next caller in. He's been a Chelsea fan, but we remain hopeful that he's going to come over to the red side very soon. We're trying a thing. So, guys, if you give him a warm welcome, you never know. We could see that transition today. Big up, brother Abs. Welcome to the show, bro.
Man said swap to Liverpool, bro. Never gonna happen, man.
I thought I'd try a ting. My bad. I thought I'd try a ting.
Alright, bro, listen. What are you saying? The hyping, yeah?
I'm all right, brother. How are you, man?
Bro, listen, all good. Just, the regular stresses and that with uni.
I'm winning a couple games here and there, though, bro.
Brother, listen, we made Ellis Sims look like R9 on our own ends about winning a couple games, so I ain't really trying to. It's so long, but you know what? There was one thing that was going around Twitter earlier a few days ago. The Liverpool fans was doing it. And it got me thinking because I've got an idea in my head in it. So since you became good, so let's say 2018, if you want to call it that. All right, so since 2018, who would you say was the top 3 or 4? Was it 3? Actually, no, it was 5. The top 5 players under Jurgen Klopp. For me, listen, I know he gets a lot of hate, especially from rival fans. However, I think that it would be very disingenuous to not say Mohamed Salah's number 1. I'm just going to put it out there. I'd say he has to go there. I know people, Van Dijk or Alisson did that, but without Salah banging in a stupid number of goals, the guy wouldn't. The Liverpool wouldn't be seen as the attacking threat they was without him, in my opinion. And it's not like he hasn't stepped up in big moments either. Yeah, he goes missing in finals, but he does turn up in big moments. And I hate saying that because he plays for the Ops. But listen, he's done his thing in it, and yeah. So. Well, was there? There's obviously and there's one other thing for you, Liverpool man, right? So if you were told that this season you finish, let's say, what's the lowest they could finish? I don't know, because you got 40 points, so you can't get relegated. Let's say 10th. You finish 10th this season.
Yeah.
And what's it called? But next year you win a You win a treble. But then after that, all the main stars get sold. So your VVDs, your I'm not saying that the younger ones, but the guys who basically the guys who are coming towards the end of it, their 30s, whatever, they all go after that. So they all go, and a new gen comes in. You wait 2 more seasons at least before you start winning that consecutively again for a 10th place finish. And that could be a bit techy. And lastly, your boy Joshua's getting put in a spliff tomorrow. I can't lie. He is.
You think?
He is, bro. He is. Well, listen, we had this convo before, innit? I told you, Anthony Joshua is one of the most overrated boxers I've ever watched.
No, Abs.
He is. He is.
Put in a spliff.
He will. Jermaine is going to kill him. Jermaine will beat him tomorrow.
Think?
Yep.
No.
He will watch it, bro. Listen, like at the end of the day, people have tried telling me this Joshua guy is all this. I've never been a massive fan of him, but even when you look at all the big guys he beat, they say, oh, he beat Vladimir Klitschko. Yes, a 37 or 38-year-old Vladimir Klitschko. He ain't beat the big guys in his prime. And when he's come up against the top don who was primed, ready to scrap, he got put back in his place like a little kid. So tomorrow he's getting dealt with.
Jeez, Abs. Always leave with a mad one. Always a haymaker on the way out, bro.
Well, you will watch it. Tomorrow he's gonna get and also just for a last little thing, just for the good of the league, I need you to lose to City but beat Arsenal in it. So then man don't win the league. That's like that's just a little thing that man needs. We'll all come together to stop these man winning the title. But, yeah, that's what I have to say. Bro.
I don't know if we beat either of them, but we'll try and beat both. And if we can't, then we'll take one.
No, just beat Arsenal, bro. You'll have me saying you'll never walk alone to beat Arsenal, bro. I said I would take a 6-0 at the Etihad if it means Arsenal don't win the league.
Raw.
But I hate Arsenal. What can I do?
No,
bro?
I hear it.
Can't stand that club, bro. Woolwich wankers. Hate them.
I know. I'm gonna chop that off for you now, my bro. Always a pleasure, man. Hopefully we get you on this Liverpool boat soon, though. So
nah, never happening, bro.
We'll see. You never know.
In too deep, man. Too long.
Right, big up, brother. Take care, man. Before I answer Abs's question, Uncle Albert in the comments. This is just a special for Uncle Albert for anyone else who's missed the link. Uncle Albert, hit me up on social and I'll send you a link because you've tried to get on for about 4 weeks and I promised you each week I'll get you back on. So hit me up on either Twitter DMs or Insta DMs and I'll send you the link. But just put in the comments when you've done that so I know. All right. Abs's questions. Always difficult. Always very good questions. I'm going to start with the Joshua comment though. Joshua's winning tomorrow and he's going to win in devastating fashion. I just unfortunately think for Joshua that Usyk and Tyson Fury are just too good for him, unfortunately. But I'm a Joshua fan. I think he's done a lot to elevate the heavyweight division. I think he gets crapped on a lot, which I think is unfair to him. He's never been the greatest of boxers. He's always been exciting. He's always had and fought with like gusto, and he's been entertaining. Obviously, the boxing IQ and all that's probably not there like it is with others, but I think people sleep on his boxing IQ to an extent because, I mean, Olympic gold medalist, 2-time unified world champion. He's never ducked a fight. He's chased fights. People have used his name to get clout, a la Tyson Fury and Wilder. So again, that's where I sit on that. I think he wins tomorrow easily, and then I don't know what happens then. Right. Hold on, I think I've found you. Hold on. If this is you, Uncle Albert, then I think we're in business. All right, next question. If we finish 10th this season, next season we win the treble. The season after, we lose most of our mainstay players, the older ones, and then it takes us 2 seasons to start winning again. Would I take it? I might, you know. Winning a treble. Winning a treble. All of us going out to Liverpool, guys. Me, Matt, and Drift, you lot in the comments. All of us meeting at Liverpool to have a little party. Celebrating a treble. So let me get this straight. We'd match number 20 for Man United. We'd have matched their treble winning, but we'd do it in a social media era. We'd do it with Klopp, and Pep would be in the league. Newcastle would have been, yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah. I'd miss Virgil and all them, man. Salah, yeah, I would. But treble, yeah, man, sign me up. Sign me up. I'm down. Since 2018, top 5 players under Klopp. I'm going to go in no order when I say this. But top 5 players, this is going to be hard. All right. Salah, Mane, Firmino, Virgil, Alisson. Honorable mentions to Trent, Robbo, Genie, Henderson. I think those are the 5, man. I'll be honest, guys. I think Bobby has to be in there because I think Bobby was the glue holding the team together from a midfield to an attack standpoint. I think everyone forgets what prime Bobby was, you know. I think everyone's forgetting prime Bobby. Prime Bobby was linking the midfield and the attack regularly. There's not a coincidence that Mane and Salah both say it was a pleasure to play with Bobby because without him, we wouldn't have got the amount of goals we got. Honorable mention to Fabinho as well. Just my humble opinion, though, guys. I understand. I understand if you disagree because we've had so many fantastic players since 2018. But for me, Salah, Firmino, Mane, Virgil and Alisson. And if I had to pick number 1, it might be... Here's the thing. I picked Salah. We've done this before. I picked Salah, and shout out to Drifty. Drifty picked Alisson. As of today, it might be Alisson because I remember without Alisson, do you know what? I can't even say that. So that Napoli game where we knocked them out in the group stages to go on and win the Champions League, Salah scored the winning goal, but Alisson's made the game-winning save. In the Spurs game in the final, Salah scored the first goal, which was a penalty. But if I'm not mistaken, Alisson actually won man of the match. It's between Alisson and Salah. And Virgil's a close second/third. But Alisson's phenomenal. So is Salah. We've just had phenomenal players. And they all peaked at the same time, which is why it's so painful to see them playing the way they are right now. Do you know what? If Coutinho had stayed longer, I'll be honest, Coutinho would have been one of the top of the list. Might have even been the top. But the problem is, again, this goes back to the owners. If Coutinho wasn't sold, we wouldn't have had an Alisson, a Fabinho, or probably not a Virgil as well. So you know what, William, I think you might have just given it to Alisson. The header against West Brom. The most emotional goal I think we've scored in recent history. It might be him. Right, let's get the next caller in. One of the legends of the Friday show, Bruno, the Cruise. Welcome to the show, bro.
I've got this to say, and I've got this to say right now. If we don't sign any players of decent quality in the summer transfer window, then Klopp's got to go. And his position is in serious question. And I've already told you a lot about FSG. I've already said it 100 times. If they don't back him with £270 million to 300 million, this guy has got to go. He's got to go. I'm tired of these pathetic excuses, right? If you cannot provide us with the funds required to build this team up to win doubles, trebles, quadruplets, I want to see Man United fans crying. I want to see Man United fans getting upset. I want to see Man United fans getting angry at Old Trafford. I want to see that, right? Like I said, we ain't Tottenham bottlers, right? We are not Tottenham bottlers, by the way, who have not won a trophy since the Saturdays, okay? Who have not won a trophy since the Saturdays, since Shane Ward, since Alexandra Burke, since... There's so many things that have happened since then, right? And this whole thing, I saw an article apparently that the Premier League apparently are doing these investigations about owners now. So they're doing investigations all of a sudden. Where was this 10 years ago? So what if that affects the sale of our club? Why didn't they do this back in 2008? Like, what in the name of garbage is this? Huh? So now they're doing all these legal things to see if they've done something good, to see if they've done something good or if they've done something bad, right? Which is what I said we should do. Why didn't they do this 10 years ago? And the other thing, have you heard the thing about Everton? Yeah. Apparently they could be deducted points. Where in the name of garbage is this about Man City? Huh? Where in the name of garbage is this again for Man City, please? Premier League officials, or whatever you want to call them. Why didn't they do this for Man City? They should be looking at Man City's first before they be looking at Everton. And if they do get deducted points and they are relegated, I have no sympathy for Everton fans anyways. They are that goalkeeper that injured Van Dijk in that 2-2 draw, if you remember. Yeah? That scissor tackle. And then they had that little idiot, Richarlison. The more we talk about him, the better. Unless we talk about him, the better. Yeah. And then you've got other people who just sit here and accept these low standards. We don't do that here. We don't celebrate finishing second place. Second place is not good enough. Third place is not good enough. Fourth place is not good enough. High standards need to be maintained, right? I'm sick and tired of people having to... Mason Mount is not good enough for Liverpool Football Club. This guy, I want those rumours to be shut down. Mason Mount is not good for Liverpool Football Club. I want top quality players. Get Gravenberch, get Bellingham, get flipping Nunes of flipping Wolves. I don't want to see Mason Mount at Liverpool. They're going to make us pay 75-100 million for him. He's not worth that, right? Not on your Nelly. He's not worth that. Right? I want them rumours shut down. I want the Jurgen Klopp to go, right, we're not interested. Shut them down. Right? All of this rubbish about you're linked with Mason Mount. Mason Mount is not good enough. Mason Mount's not good enough. I expect quality investment. I expect 5 signings this summer, 5 to 6 signings. 300 million, no excuses. Next summer as well, another 300. Next summer after that, another 300. In the January transfer window, 250. No excuses. If you can't do it, pack your bags and sling your up. Get us owners that will do it. That's what I've got to say. What do you think about these opinions? And if Matt and Drift do come on here, what do they think about this? Thank you very much. That's what I've got to say. If you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, yes, I think I'm Jamaican. Yeah. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Bruno, I'm going to chop this up now. You're a legend as always, my bro.
Thank you very much. I'll see you again next week.
Pleasure. Take care, bro. Big up Bruno as always. Just to caveat, Matt and Drift won't be on. Drift definitely won't be on, and it's Matt's little one's birthday. So before I answer Bruno's questions, I'm gonna drop the beat for Matt's little one's birthday. Big up to younger Matt. Big up. Bruno always get, man said the Saturdays, you know, if you know, you know, do you know, you know how old school the Saturdays is. Right. Prem ownership investigation stuff. I think the Premier League have been forced into this because of all the outrage and the stuff that's been going on. But in an ideal world, the Premier League would turn a blind eye to this because it just brings more eyes to the product. I don't think they really care that much. I think they're just doing this as a tick box exercise. They don't really care because ultimately the more owners with more money that come into the Premier League, the more rich the Premier League gets, the better players the Premier League gets, the more entertaining it becomes. Like the nucleus of the Premier League growing is money. So I think they'll turn a blind eye unless something so clear and obvious to everyone. I say that, but Man City have been doing a bit of a mad one and been getting away with it. So, like, yeah, for me, yeah, I don't think the Prem's going to do anything about that. Everton being deducted points, yeah, shamelessly, yeah, let them. Everton go down. I think everyone's laughing and happy from a Liverpool aspect. Like, I'm good with it. FSG. One thing I disagree with Bruno on, I don't think we need to see 300 mil spent every summer. Like spending money is all cool. We don't need 300 mil every summer. Like that's too much money. We generally don't need that. We won't need that. If we spend 300 mil this summer, I reckon we need one more big summer, and then from there we could kind of just keep on drip feeding and replenishing when a need be, like player here, player there. I don't think we need it. Look, it's nice if it's there in the kit. He's sitting there waiting if we need it, but I don't think we'll need it. I think we need 2 big summers, though. Maybe 1 big January in between that, but we need 3 big transfer windows, in my opinion, to give us a fantastic squad and a squad that can compete on multiple fronts for multiple years. So I will say that. And yeah, that comes down to the ownership. It really does come down to the ownership. Terms of quality of the player, here's the thing. Klopp's record of signing players is actually fantastic. So I can sit here all day and I'll tell you I don't really rate Mason Mount good enough for Liverpool for what we need. I don't really rate this player. Ultimately, Klopp, his track record is pretty phenomenal. Like, Abs asked me to name best 5 players under Klopp since 2018, and we all had different opinions. A lot of us, people were saying, "How's Trent not in there?" All right, he didn't buy Trent. People were saying, "How's Robbo not in there? How's Fabinho not in there? Genie." Like, these are players Klopp bought, so his track record kind of speaks for itself. We know you could argue Michael Edwards' record, but Klopp did still have to sign off on those players, so I think Klopp has to get the graces as well. In the same way, we can accuse Pep Linders of tactics and stuff. Klopp still had to sign off on those tactics, so he still has to get credit as well. So yeah, big up Bruno for that. Let's get our next caller in. Paul Smith.
All right, mate.
How you doing, bro?
I'm fine. Excellent. Just want to make my point. Let me just get myself ready and I'll make my point. I've been on post Klopp mode for quite a while now, so I'm in the mood that I'm in the I'm of the view that he should be ready to get rid, and I know a few replacements that can actually do the job better and take us. Yeah, I think he's run out of steam. Personally, I think everyone's caught up with him. There are now younger and better coaches that have got his number personally, and I will name one of them as Roberto Zeroubi.
Deserby.
I would have him as a suitable replacement. And the guy who took River Plate to 2 consecutive Copa Libertadores is Marcelo Dorado.
Okay.
Definitely. So I've been in post-Klopp mode for quite a while. The only way he can stay is that he changes his number 2 and gets rid of Pep Linders. That is the only way for me that he can actually stay as manager, in my opinion. Yeah. And the midfielders I would bring in to replace that we should actually buy would be Alan Varela from River Plate.
Yeah.
He'd be a great replacement for Fabinho. He is Xabi Alonso, a Mascherano in one. Passing vision, playmaker, but can also have the energy to break up attacks.
Bro, I mean that's high praise right there.
Yeah, it is. That he's got potential.
Really high praise.
Kone, obviously. Igate.
Yeah.
Batch. I don't want to waste that 100. I don't want to waste 150 million on Jude Bellingham. Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Before I let you go,
would
it be a waste if we were to get 2 other midfielders? Let's say we in the perfect world we got Jude, Kone, and Ugarte. Would you still?
I wouldn't have Jude.
You wouldn't at all.
No.
Oh, that's throwing a spanner in the works. Talk to me, bro. You would have Jude.
That money could be spent on midfields that are just as good, but not so much money. I would have McAllister as well.
Over Jude?
Yeah.
Jude 19, bro.
Jude, if it was cheaper, yeah, but I wouldn't spend 150 million on him. No way. He is not worth that.
That's a fair point.
He's not worth 150 million or even 110 million. He's worth, I say, 60 to 70 million.
What about if you could keep Jude for the next 10 years, though?
Yeah, I mean that is a very good point. That's the only thing I would That's the only thing. That's the only favoritism that I would kind of have. That's the only plus point I would say. Sorry that. Yeah. And I would have as a centre back, I would have a guy from Napoli, the Korean guy whose name I cannot pronounce.
Kim Min Jae.
Yeah, he'd be a good one. Yeah, and Antonio Silva from Benfica.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, thanks. I've been trying to call in for quite a while, and
yeah, it's hard to get through.
It's an honor to be on your show. Trust me, it is. I am a fan.
We've got amazing people who follow us. So
yeah. It's an honor. I tell you.
Nah, it's an honor having you on, man. We always see you in the chat, so thanks for your support, man.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I can be a bit abrasive. I know you gave me a slap on the wrist for being abrasive, so but I deserved it, you know.
It's more under the bridge, bro. It's more under the bridge.
Yeah.
Look. Here's the thing. Look, we all get emotional over Liverpool because it's something we love, innit?
Because we love the club. Yeah.
I don't have a problem. I'll be honest. I can't remember if me and you have had like a little.
Not you, but yeah, you did slap me down for being abrasive to one of you three anyway.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It might have been drifty because I often disagree with them on quite a lot of things. I tell you, yeah, I do. Mason Mount last me every time he's trying to put the case of Mason Mount. I've gone, no, someone's got to challenge him. He's got to be challenged. He can't be advocating that we bring in a Chelsea reject. I'm sorry.
No, I hear it.
I was listening to Carefree Lewis and the reasons why he wanted to get rid of him. He said he overhits too many of his passes or underhits his passes, so he's not a very good passer.
Yeah.
So when I listen to Chelsea players giving a true reflection of the man himself, that kind of brings the truth of the man's abilities out in the open. Sorry.
No, I hear that.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been too long anyway, so I'll let you get back to
thank you, man. Appreciate you as always. And yeah, I'm going to chop up what you said now. Very interesting takes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one, Paul, bro.
Okay, no one. Take care, mate. Thanks.
You too, brother.
Yeah.
All right. Big up to Paul there. All right. So I know people are going to hear what he said about Bellingham and think he's crazy. I agree. Bellingham's not worth 150 mil. But I'd also argue how many players in the world are actually worth 150 mil. And I don't think nowadays you're playing what a player's worth. You're paying what a player is worth to the club that's selling, or how much the club is selling can get. Coutinho was an excellent player when he left us. There is no way he was worth 142 mil. No way. But we snatched the money out of Barca's hand because we knew we were getting a hell of a deal. Nowadays, you have to overpay for players. And here's what makes it tricky is because you've got other teams who have overpaid for mediocre players. 85 mil for Maguire, if I'm not mistaken. 60 for Richarlison. Was it like 40 odd mil for Anthony Gordon? So if that's the level for an average player, then a player of Jude's quality, you can kind of justify 150, even though I don't think he's worth it. I don't think any player is worth it nowadays. Maybe a handful of players. But you can understand why Borussia Dortmund are pushing for that sort of money, because they know they could probably get something close to that. So I understand it. But I also see where you're coming from, Paul. In terms of players, Alan Varela, I've heard stuff about him, but I've never seen him play, so I can't really speak on it. I've seen clips on YouTube, but Voronin looks sick on YouTube, so I can't sit here and unequivocally say yeah he's the guy, because I simply haven't watched him play enough. Manu Kone and Agate, yep, but I'm fully on board with those two players. Antonio Silva looks really good. Kim at Napoli looks like a massive revelation. You could argue he's been the best centre back in Europe this season. He's been excellent. In terms of managers, so again, I'm still Klopp-in. De Zerbi is a difficult one because he's coming to a Graham Potter team who, in my opinion, built a great foundation there, and he's taken a team onto a different level, which was never going to be easy, but he has. But I didn't know about De Zerbi before this season, and I'm not saying I'm the oracle, so because I didn't know about him that it can't be good, but I'd need to see a little bit more of a track record from him. But again, this is where, again, I'll say I'm a hypocrite. If you offered me Cravo from Napoli tomorrow, I'm taking him. And he's only been at Napoli for less than a season. But I think it's different with players and different with managers. I think managers, I need to see a little bit more of a case. Don't know anything about the River Plate manager. I would like to see Pep Linders go and replace with someone else. The Sporting manager, he looks like a very good manager. I'd be shocked if he remains at Sporting beyond next season. I'd be very shocked. With the fact that Spurs need a new manager, I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking at him right now. He's a very good manager, it seems. He seems to really play good brand of football, and he's got his players who run through walls for him. He's an interesting prospect. So I'd like to see what happens there. Right. Let's go. Our next callers in. Our last two callers. Two of my uncles. The first one, Uncle Albert. It's been a minute. You're on mute, Uncle. You're on mute, Uncle.
How are you doing, Carl?
I'm good. First and foremost, let me apologize that we ain't been able to get you on for a few weeks.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Like the traffic is good. It means something good is happening on Kopish. That's good. It's been difficult to get on your show. It's a bit like winning in a white jersey. So it's winning in that shit ass jersey, man. I don't know who the fuck designed that jersey. Person should be taken to the market and sold. Listen,
tonight, Uncle?
Man, I was just, in fact, the reason why, because I meant to get on early today, but I kind of forgot because I was watching Eintracht Frankfurt play Bochum. And I don't know why somebody, we were, of course, linked in FC. We were linked with Indika, and some of our journalists said, no, we're not looking at. Why the hell wouldn't we be looking at him? This is a left-sided centre back, excellent left-sided centre back who can actually play as a left fullback, because Frankfurt switched in between the match. They went 4 at the back, but they started with 3, and he was on the left side. Why wouldn't we be looking at him? He's free, for fuck's sake. Why wouldn't we look at? We'll be looking at him. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, it's true.
Or maybe he's not Pep Linders recommended. Man, Liverpool. Like the previous caller was saying, Liverpool just it just gets all of us heated up at times. But I'm learning to control my emotions, because nothing we do surprises me. I think we're going to win tomorrow, and the reason I'm saying that is, I think that Phil Foden not playing is more of a factor than anybody thinks. At least Trent will not be as taken round the outside, as much as it happens with Foden. I think he can deal with Grealish, because you know what Grealish is going to do. He's going to cut inside and look for a foul. Yeah. I think Konate is a little bit too fast for him when he turns inside, so will be good. I want Haaland to play, especially if he has a groin problem. I mean, have you ever tried to walk with a groin problem? He should play. He should play. Contrary to what a lot of people think, I think Julian Alvarez is a lot better striker than people make him out for. Any other team he starts. I mean, it's only Manchester City that can keep a guy like that sitting on the bench, and he accepts it. If I were him, I'd have left already, because he starts any team. I mean, we start fucking Elliott, for crying out loud. Why wouldn't he be starting in Liverpool? So, but I think you cause us a lot of problems if he's the one to play. But we will win, because we have to win. We will win. We have to win that match. Yeah. Besides that, I think that like I've always said, my opinion on Klopp is out there, but he's there. So in 54 years of life, I've learned to accept what is there and work with it, at least for now. Let's hope that he does better in the summer, because nobody's going to fire him. I mean, these guys, it's like a symbiotic relationship, It's like a fly on shit. They live for each other, he and FSG. So they're not going to sack him. So he should do better. He should get us the rebuild that we need in the middle of the park. I am looking for that Alan Varela kid. If Liverpool claim they have scouted him, because I've seen 2 of his matches, full matches. If Liverpool have scouted him and Boca won 17 million pounds for him, they should go and get him. Because otherwise, Benfica are going to get him, and then within 6 months, he's worth 100 million pounds. They should go and get him. He's better than Enzo Fernandez. He's better than anybody that we've spoken about in that department, maybe except for Ugarte. So if you can get them both, get them both. But I will put Varela ahead of Ugarte. He is that good.
Better than Kone?
Well, Kone is more or less on the left side. I'm talking about a halfback now. I'm talking about a 6. It's between him, Kefren Turam, and Ugarte.
Yeah.
That guy, but I put Varela ahead of all 3. I'm that convinced. I've seen him twice playing for Boca in the South American Championship, and he's beyond excellent. And one of the things that he does that the other 2 don't do is he can hit them from a distance, and it's a Scud missile into the net. He can pick out long passes like a gyroscope from 40 yards, and he puts it on your toe. So, I can imagine him picking them passes from beyond the arc onto Salah's foot, and we're in business. I prefer him to that, but get any of them, I'm good. And then let's do something about Trent. We either help Trent by putting a good DM in front of him, and that will probably be Jude. Now, on the Jude question, I'm going to give an analogy. So for 2 years, you promised me Serena Williams. And I always lose Serena Williams because I love Serena. She's my role model.
Yeah.
You promised me Serena Williams for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I hold my horses. I'm not getting any other person, right?
Yeah.
And then 6 months to when Serena arrives, you tell me no. I'm gonna bring out fucking Chris Evert Lloyd out of mothballs, and I'm gonna add Martina Navratilova and who else? Are you serious? You promised me Serena freaking Williams. Get me Serena. That's it. And I don't care how much she costs. That's the franchise right there. Get me Serena. Right? Bring Jude. And that's it. Because the rebuild is not going to it's not going to be one season, guys. And another thing, if we buy Jude for say 120, and I'm using 120 because I want to highlight something, and we have him for 10 years, that's like having a player for 60 million for 5 years. If somebody told you take Jude for 60 million for 5 years twice, wouldn't we take him? Of course we'll take him. When he's 29, let him go. Sell him to Real Madrid or Barcelona, whatever. Let him go make some money. I think that's fair. Let's get him. That guy is a future England captain. He's a future beacon of the English game. Get him. You promised me Serena. You told me I can't even wank during the period, right? Get me fucking Serena. That's it. No ifs, no buts. Because you see, the worst thing, Cal, is to see Man City get the guy. He comes to Anfield and he comes and fucking waxes us, right? And then we go and fucking fly planes in the backyard and say, why didn't you get Jude? Get him. We've made a 97 million pound bid already. That's good. Add more if need be. Get Jude. End of story. And get some frees. There are some frees out there. Get them frees, man. There's some frees out there. There are others we could use. Some people are going to go to relegation. Get those. I mean, the one thing I don't want, the one person I don't want at Liverpool, right? And I know Drift is my guy. Drift is my guy. I love Drift. But I don't want Mason Mount out in Liverpool. And I'll tell you why. Mason Mount, apparently, they say they want between 60 and 70 for him.
Yeah.
If Todd fucking Bowley goes to spend 600 million on players, half of which he has regretted by now, why do we have to give him 10% of that money to amortize the money he spent?
Yeah.
They should pay him. Besides, we don't want that guy to come and mess up our dressing room. He's pissed because they got what's his name? Our former player, little nifty winger. What's his name? Raheem Sterling.
Sterling, yeah.
And they're paying him 325. And his argument is, I've been at the academy my whole life. I've contributed. We've won the Champions League. So give me more money. Great argument. Sort it with fucking Uncle Todd, your sugar daddy. So sort it out with him. We don't want him because we don't want to pay that kind of money for him. Look, if Liverpool really want the guy, wait until next year, right? Until next year, he's free.
Yeah.
Get him next year. And then you can pay him whatever he wants because you don't pay anything for him. Makes sense. Listen, if we sold Sadio Mane for 35 million, even 40 million is too much for him. And the last thing, if he's going to cost the same amount of money as Alexis McAllister is going to cost, is that even a conversation?
Yeah, agreed.
How is that even a conversation? Can you imagine Alexis McAllister, Alan Varela, stroke Kevin, stroke Ugarte in the middle, and Jude on the right? Man, they can field me. They can field Uncle Albert as the fullback, man, with my big stomach, 206 pounds, and I'll be cooking because I don't have to kick the ball. You know that, right? I don't have to kick the ball. I'm going to be shouting and hoofing and doing the handle, shouting, screaming with my armband, right? I'm old, so they'll honor me with the captain's armband. I'll be screaming, right? They can play 10 and a half against 11 for all I care. And we are still, that's a fearsome, scary Liverpool, right? We are coming in red. And you know what? Then we are going to go to Real Madrid and fuck them up the ass. Like real fuck them up the ass. And pay them back for what they've been doing to us. So the rebuild is constructive. But you know what? Get Jude. That's not a negotiation. We don't want them freaking Chris Evert Lloyd types, Martina Navratilova, and no, get Serena.
Yeah.
Get us our Serena. Get us the GOAT. Get us that kid. Get him, get his brother, get his mama, get his papa, get the whole family. Get the family dog. We want Jude. So, Grift,
I hear you.
Wherever you are, I disagree with you, but you're still my boy. Happy birthday to Lil Matt. And take care, Carl.
You too,
like
Uncle.
I said, getting onto your show is like that ugly white kaleidoscope fucking jersey. Burn it already. Burn it up. It has the spirit of Baal. Beelzebub jersey. Burn it. Tomorrow, somebody tell those soulless light blues we're coming.
I hope
we're
so.
coming. We are coming, and we are beating them. I see a 2-1 score. I see Salah do his thing. That's what I saw in the cloud. But it could be more. We'll beat them, though. We'll beat them.
Hopefully.
I told you we'll beat Manchester United. Remember?
You did.
We beat them. Don't worry. We'll beat them. So
Uncle,
take care.
you're a
Let
legend.
somebody else call in.
Yes. Bless
Peace
you.
out.
Take it easy. Uncle. Never a dull moment, Uncle Albert, man. Never a dull moment. That Serena Williams analogy will live long in the memory for me. I can't lie. Big up, Uncle. Yeah, I'd love Jude Bellingham. I just don't think we'll get him. But if we can get Jude, you go and get him, man. You go and get him. But we need others around him. Like, whether it be Rice and Kone, Varela, if he's this good as everyone's saying he is, get Varela. Go and get some players around him. Don't bring him in by himself. And I fear that's what would happen if we got Jude. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. Big up, Uncle Albert. Right, last caller of the evening. He has his own channel as well, so make sure you big up the channel. Well, I will be appearing on his channel in the next couple of weeks as well. Big up to my other uncle, my Caribbean uncle, Uncle Rods.
Yo, turn on this like your father. Hold on. Yeah, you know I rate Uncle Abby, you know I rate Uncle Abby. He's my general, you know. When we're for regular loose talk, you know, some loose talk, you know, about what we can do to Real Madrid. Pause! Hit the pause button! Bad man, subscribe to that, brother. Subscribe. Yo, brother. Yeah, I told you already. Regular loose talking and that. But yeah, I'm a general. I'm a general.
No, you big. I love
When I heard that, yo, that's shaky, you know. That's kind of shaky, you know. I don't think man's going that far, you know. Hey, how are you? How are you, Cal? How are you?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. How are you, Uncle?
Yeah, I'm good. Matt's birthday today, still.
No, Matt's little one's birthday.
Oh, good. Happy strong for the youth, them still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because youth are the future. You see it.
Trust
are the next generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know what is this? I just think we should get Jude. There should be no questions about getting Jude. Do you know what I mean? Because there's always this sort of like situation that, like, you know, if we get this, we can't have that. If you get that, you can't have this. Do you know what I mean? What I said on the show this week, I said, look, with Liverpool, we should be able to sort of like fill the gaps that we need to fill. There shouldn't be no like half a job done. Do you know what I mean? Because doing half a job, that's what's got us in this situation in the first place. we should go out and then right, even if we get 90% of the job done, we should complete that job. Do you know what I mean? So like it makes it easier for like other transfer windows that's coming up. Do you know what I mean? Because personally, I would like to see a midfield of like you got a midfield of Bellingham, Callister, Ryan Gravenberch, and then you have Mount in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have Mount. I will have Mount if you're not just getting for instance, you're not just going to get Bellingham and Mount.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not going. He has to be with other players at the day of a good level because that's what he is with Chelsea. That's why he looks good in Chelsea for that because he's got players at a certain level that can sort of like give him sort of like the service of what he needs in order for him to shine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You put Mason Mount in a sort of I don't know, no disrespect, because I got a brethren as a Bournemouth fan. Yeah. You put him in a Bournemouth side and everything that he's not cooking like that. You know what I mean? He's not literally not cooking like that. You put him in I don't know, Nottingham Forest side. He's not cooking like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you put him in a top 6 side, you know what I mean? Like, like your Man United, like your Man City, Liverpool, even at Arsenal, he's cooking because he's got players around him at the day of a good caliber that that can help him shine. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what it is, Unless you're a phenomenal player like a Luis Suarez at the day, which can literally do it on his own. Do you know what I mean? I remember one game we played Arsenal, and you know what I mean. And he got I think he got man of the match, and he didn't even score a goal.
Yeah, yeah. You
know what I mean?
You ripped them boy into shreds. The 5-1. You remember what he did to them? He ripped them to shreds.
Listen, I was in my room and everything that watching the game. And my bro was here that time there, and he's an Arsenal supporter and everything that. And he comes in the room and he goes, "They've scored again. They've scored again." 4-0. We won 4. We've winning 4-0 in the first 20 minutes. That's the first time it's been done. Even the guys at BT Sports, I think one of them was an Arsenal supporter. He couldn't believe it. He's like, "I can't believe it. We're getting beaten 4-0." And it's only 20 minutes. You know what I mean? But like, unless you've got a phenomenal player like that can do everything, you know what I mean? Knit play together, run the channels, and so forth. Do you know what I mean? Unless you've got a player like that, you need players around a player to help him shine. So you have to sort of like say, you're right. You know what? Our main objective that in the transfer window is getting this midfield and day right. It's getting this midfield right and everything like that. And I do believe, like with Klopp, I will give him another season or so. But you have to give him what he needs in order for him to do it. Do it. Do you know what I mean? You have to give him the sort of like the tools at the day to rebuild his side and say, "Look, I'm the man." Because we all think at the end of the day, don't we? We all think at the end of the day that Klopp is an elite manager. We all think that. He's an elite manager. And in somewhat, he has proved it. What he's done is come in 2015 and he's changed the way that Liverpool plays.
Yeah.
Some of the ways that we play now, parts of the fan base might not agree with it. You know what I mean? Like, the high line and so forth and that, right? But he's literally changed the way that we play. I did a show just before and I was speaking with sort of like a Man City fan, Patrick, and he was saying that when you look at it, Liverpool and Man City changed the Premiership. It changed the way the Premiership was being looked at by the points at the day of what they was doing and the games of what they were having. He goes, that then we was the most watched game in it. People did not want to watch El Clasico again. They didn't want to watch El Clasico again. They wanted to watch Liverpool and Man City because you had both these managers that day were the height of their tactical awareness. They're very tactical and everything that, and it was people just watching to see who can outsmart the next each other. Who can do it? Who's gonna make that move and everything that in this chess game in the day that's gonna win the match? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Even when sort of like Man United in the 90s and everything, I'm not gonna take away from their achievement because it was a massive achievement what they've done in the 90s. Do you know what I mean? Even when them in the 90s and you know what I mean, they didn't have a rival like we have, like
Yeah.
Liverpool and Man City, because they were slapping up Arsenal left, right, and centre. You know what I mean? Arsenal wasn't no rival for them.
Yeah.
It's like man,
They think they were, but they weren't really.
Nah, they were. Man would say to him, goes, listen, Reggie, you ain't no bad man for me, you know, dog. Listen, go get me a cigarette. What you doing going with? You know, go get me some food. Do you know what I mean? Look, them vibes there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I remember that day, so Arsenal went to Old Trafford and it got slapped 8-2.
Yeah.
It got slapped 8-2 and everything that. And it's regularly getting slapped.
6-1 as well.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The regularly getting slapped. Even like it was so bad in the day. And what's that guy's name? The Dutch guy that used to play for them.
Van Persie.
Yeah, Van Persie. So bad. Van Persie. Look, I ain't winning nothing for you, mans. You know.
Yeah.
I'm going up north, lad. I'm going up north.
Yeah.
And he went up north and he won something. So the rivalry wasn't there like it is with us. Do you know what I mean? Us and a Man City. Do you know what I mean? So if Klopp, I won't say if he is an elite manager in my eyes. He's an elite manager in his eyes. He deserves. I know I've said this and I've said that, but I think he deserves another season, and he deserves to be given the tools to do it.
Yeah.
If at the end of next season, he's given the tools and he's still not doing it, you have to say, right, Klopp, you know what? At the end of the day, right, we tried and everything that we tried to help you and everything that, right, but you got to go. And you probably say, yeah. You probably say, well, yeah, I'll be the first to go. Say I'll go.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But at the moment and day, what they haven't done, they haven't properly helped him. If that. Now, a lot of people and they will say about FSG and if that, right? You know, it's a business and this and that, and they've got bills to pay, blah blah blah. Every team's got bills to pay.
Facts.
Every team in the Premiership's got bills to pay. So you can't really come with that talk and everything that. Then they had the thing, but with these selling of the club and everything that, and people were saying that FSG never said that they were selling, but they may not have said it, but they did not deny it, did they?
Yeah.
They did deny it. If somebody's spreading a rumor about yourself and everything that, say, boy, you're going on shaky and this and that, right? Yeah. You're going to be the first one to come out and say, well, look, you know what, in the day, nah, man, it don't go like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they didn't come out and deny it. But then at the end of it, it said, "No, we're not selling." Do you know what I mean?
Seems shady.
Do you know what I mean?
Shady, isn't it?
It's shady because basically, you could have said that from the beginning. If you really wasn't selling, you could have said that from the beginning. Say, "Hey, what? You know what? We're not selling. We're here for the long haul. We're looking for the long haul." You know what I mean? We got this plans, we got that plans, and everything that. You know what I mean? Why would we want to sell? You know what I mean? So it's a fact that they kept quiet, and at the 11th hour and then day, right? They said that, "Oh, we're not selling anything." That it goes, so that's shaky to me. Do you know what I mean? Now FSG have to put themselves in a position that they say to Klopp and they, you know what, Klopp, we're gonna back you. We're gonna back you and everything that, because I know people saying that they will look, with Jude Bellingham and everything that, right? We should spend 130 or 150 on Jude Bellingham. We can get other players of that. Well, why not? Why can't we go out and spend 150 on Jude Bellingham? Yeah. We're Liverpool Football Club, for fuck's sake. We set trending her.
Yeah.
Brother, we set trending her.
Meant to, yeah.
We set trend like Big Ben in her.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, brother. We set trending her, brother. You know what I mean? Yeah. So why can't we say it and they say, oh, Jude, all right, then you want 150, Jude? All right, there you go, bruv. Yeah, get yourself on the plane, get over here. Do you know what I mean? And then go out and buy other players that can complement him. Do you know what I mean? Don't stop there. Go out and buy other players that can complement him. Go to Brighton and say, McAllister, you want that money? Yeah, here you go. And even go to Chelsea and say, you want 60 million? We know he's not worth it, nothing like that, but he's young. We could probably make that back. Because you check it now. How old is Mason Mount? What, 23, 24?
24, I think, yeah.
24. He's still literally got at least 7 or 8 years.
Yeah,
Let's say 8 years. So 8 years and everything that, right? You could still make money off him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As for Chelsea and everything that, what Chelsea need to do at the moment and everything that, right? They've got to get rid of players, and sometimes at the day you have to accept a loss in order to progress.
Yeah.
In order to go forward and from that. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's offering you at the day 45 million for Lukaku and everything that, Lukaku, yeah, it may not be worth it for that, but you take it, get him off the wage bill and everything that, right? And then you move. You know what I mean? You need to set money. You shouldn't be sort of like weighing it out to get that perfect price, because you're never going to get it for people like me, Lukaku. You're not going to get it for Kai Havertz.
Yeah,
there ain't nobody in Germany paying you
not the money they spent.
$70 upwards.
Definitely not.
Not true. So you have to accept a lot.
Yeah,
You progress. With us and everything that right, Klopp needs to be given the right funds and everything that right funds and the right tools that they to sort of say, right, you know, we can kick on. Because we've seen it before, and then Dave, he's done it, and then Dave with certain players like Eugenie Wijnaldum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He took an attacking player from sort of like Newcastle and turned him into sort of a holding player for that, and he became one of the best players that we had in our squad for a very, very long time. So he can do it. He can do it. I think if you give Klopp the right circumstances, he can do it. But FSG, when you think about it, the owners at the day, in some departments at the day, they have failed Klopp. They have failed Klopp.
100%. 100%.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? 100%. And Klopp at the day, right? Klopp in there, I don't know what it is, he's actually gone along with some stuff. That's what I always say at the day, like they're both to blame.
Yeah.
But if we talk about FSG, they have failed him. They have failed him in some parts of it, because really and truly, and this situation we are in now, Cal, we shouldn't be in this situation.
Fact.
We're a Liverpool Football Club. As people got to remember that. People start running them out about Liverpool this and Liverpool that, and remember them. We set trending.
Yeah.
We are the team at the day that people want to be. We are the team that people want to emulate. Man City in the day want to emulate us. Chelsea, when they got all that money, want to emulate us. So we can't be that shit. You know what I mean? Arsenal want to emulate us.
Yeah.
So we can't be that shit. Although all those teams at the day will never emulate us. You know what I mean? Yeah. We set trend. We're the most successful British club in history.
Facts. Tell him again.
Remember me telling that. Remember me telling some boy that make them know, you know. So nobody can go wrong with the thing in a family, you know.
Facts.
Nobody can go wrong with the thing in a king. You know what I mean? Because listen, at the day, 6 European Cups. That's the most successful in British history, big man. We're up there with the table and we're sitting at the table. Do you know at one time in a big man, right, before we got kicked out of Europe and everything, people say, oh, it's history and everything that. That's history and everything that. But you know what it is? Liverpool was a team at the day. Nobody wanted to play Liverpool in Europe.
No one could touch us.
Brother! Nobody wants to play us and that. They say, oh, Liverpool
the
again.
problem is, Uncle, everyone thinks that football started in 1992, innit?
Yeah, but more for them. Shame on them. I always say shame on you. If you think at the day football started in 1992 and everything that, a man come try and tell me the other day, and I didn't cook him too bad because I was on somebody else's channel. But anyhow, he's on my channel for I'd cook up in bone buckle out to the better. Man try to tell me one Premiership, he want to tell me, oh, Liverpool, he's a Chelsea supporter. And like I've had this conversation before, with a Chelsea supporter. They were saying about one Premiership at the day in 30 years. I goes, brother, how long did it take you lot to win the title again?
Yeah.
You won the title in 1955. You never won it again till 2004. And the only reason you won it is because you got money.
Yeah.
That's 49 years it took them to win the title. So don't tell me, man. We set trend like Big Ben in a dog. Nobody talked. Nobody go wrong with the thing in a dog. You know what I mean? So he needs to be given at the end of the day the right circumstances, the right amount of money. No excuse. We're fed up with excuses now. We don't want to hear no more excuses for the FSG now. You say you're not selling? Okay, then. You're not selling everything that right. Show us what you can do.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Punt the money in and everything that right. Because they've got money in her. Don't make them go around you. They've got money in her. Punt the money to you. Let's go out and buy Jude Bellingham. Let's go buy McAllister. Let's get a Mason Mount. And let's get a Ryan Gravenberch as well. And also throwing a centre back in there as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let's do this thing. Like, throw the centre back. Get Calvin Ramsey in there, fighting fit and everything that, and put us right back, and he can put Trent in midfield certain times and stuff. Let's do this. Let's go for it. Let's show them at the day that big man, last season was a blip.
Yeah. This
season will come for blood clot fight, you know.
Everything.
Nobody go wrong with. Nobody go wrong with that. Let me tell you, nobody go wrong with. I like it. You better. I see Chris up the head top as well, you know. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm back, you know. Stylish, man. My style of thing. But yeah, man, you know what? Big up to you, man. Big up to you and everything like that.
Man.
As I say, like every time I'm on the show, bare love and that. And this is a space at the day, sort of like put it this way, you man's make me come back and do a channel. It's you man inspired me to do a channel and thing. You know what I mean? Because I had a channel before, but as I said, you know, I scrapped that one and I built up this one and think that I said, yeah, I'm gonna do this right. And you man inspired me. And you know what? This is a good space that people like us can have our say. Do you know what I mean? Because you remember how it was before, didn't they? It was Sky Sports we had to listen to all the time. And you couldn't have your say. The only platform we could have your say on was 5 Live. We used to phone up them. You know what I mean? That's no platform. Other than that, you couldn't have your say in certain things. And to have this platform and obviously the vibes that sort of like you, Matt, and Jifty got, it's like, you know what? It's like literally like your brothers. Yeah. It's literally like your brothers and everything, and you grow up in the same household and everything. So you know how to banter each other, and you know how to have heated discussions with each other and stuff and everything that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's a platform that you got. It's an amazing platform, my friend. And yeah, man, you're gonna be on my channel in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, a couple of weeks' time, we're gonna chop it up, you know.
Yeah, I'll send you the details, big man. I'll send you the details too.
Yeah, man, I'm there.
You know what I mean? But like I was gonna say, like, what's your ideal? One question before I go.
Yeah.
What's your ideal Sunday meal? Sunday dinner. Ooh. Your ideal Sunday dinner. What's your ideal Sunday dinner? Let me hear it.
Make me hungry. I'm not meant to be eating after 8 o'clock as well, Uncle. You know, make me hungry now. Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, all right. So I need a couple fried dumpling on the plate.
I'm glad.
Homemade coleslaw.
Stop it.
Homemade coleslaw. I'm gonna go fried chicken over jerk. You'll have a little fried chicken. I need a little bit of pasta on the plate. Just a little bit of macaroni cheese. I need some planting. That's
yeah. That's the standard.
And I know this is gonna be controversial. I'm more of a white rice man than a rice and peas man, you know.
No, but you know what? Saying that though, you know, I've got a liking to white rice in it because I think sometimes white rice goes with certain meals and everything like that.
Yeah.
And
I need curry goat on the plate as well. I need some curry goat.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah, I need some curry goat. Rods, man, I'm on a diet, Uncle Rods. You just ruined it now.
No, but you know what? It will happen. No, it will happen. No. We have to dip on that soon, you know, brother. You know, we have to dip on that soon. You know, so I'm just talking now. And listen, I'm just saying the talks I can say now. Because I know in a couple of weeks' time when I start getting on it, I can't talk that shit again. I can't talk. Brother, listen. Big up to you and big up the whole family.
Sorry, before you go, Uncle Jay, the activist, I need oxtail on the plate as well.
Oh God, Uncle God,
I might even need a little steam red brim as well. I might, the plate's big. The plate's big.
Listen,
it's got to be a square plate. It's got to be a square plate.
You know that's what. Listen, I don't. You know what used to happen, right? Tell this quick. When I used to grow up and I think that, right? When I was growing up and I think that, right? And my father come in, and he has his dinner and think that, right? I always used to look at my father's plate because remember your father's plate used to be like a mountain, didn't it? And I said, you know what? I said, you know what? I need to aspire to those days, those times. You know? I need to aspire to that. You know what I mean? But always every my dad's plate, but you know what? I've kept you too long now. Listen,
come on now.
Amazing show again.
Everyone, I put Uncle's channel in the chat as well. Make sure you guys subscribe over there.
My brother, my nephew did. Hey, listen, nobody violate my nephew. This is my nephew, you know. Jifty, Matt, and Cal, they're my nephews, man. They're my nephews. Listen, have a cracking weekend.
Thank you, bro.
And big up to you and big up your family as well. That means the Kopish family and your personal family. Big up to all of you. God bless all of you. God bless all of you.
My bro. Take care.
Respect. Respect.
Uncle make me hungry, boy. I'm so hungry. I need some of that food. Shout out to Jean Grey, that peppered steak as well, man. You know, I might have to slide that onto the plate as well. The plate's gonna be a mountain. The plate's gonna be a mountain. Imran, yeah, oxtail. Imran, one day, God willing, we meet up, bro. I'm gonna break off some oxtail. I'm gonna buy you some oxtail, and yeah, man, oxtail is essential, bro. Oh man. When you sear it in a Dutchy pot and then you just boil it up. Ooh, crazy. Nothing like some good Caribbean food, man. Nothing like it. Right, guys, before I go through the super chats, I've got a massive favor to ask you. Over 500 of you guys in the chat. Can we get 500 likes, guys? In fact, you know what? That's a little bit ambitious. I'm going to ask for 400 likes, guys. So if you haven't already, please do smash the like button. Everyone, a couple people, I'm disappointed. I've seen a couple of you asking what drink am I having with my meal. I mean, if you don't know me by now, you don't know me by now. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I see Beijing Reds TV says, hold on. No, cow oxtail in that oven, low and slow. Is it oxtail in the oven? Do you know what though, Beijing? Do you know what I've seen on Instagram that I need someone to either cook for me or I need to try? Oxtail pizza. I know it sounds mad, but oxtail pizza sounds like a vibe to me, you know. Oxtail pizza sounds like a vibe. And you know, I've even seen people do for the pizza base, do it as a dumpling pizza base. So they've made the dumpling flat, fried it on both sides, half fried it on both sides, done the oxtail topping with the cheese and the sauce, barbecue sauce this would have to be, and then slapped it in the oven. Oh my god. I don't know who came up with it, but it seems magical. It seems magical. Like, I'm on board. Like, I'm fully on board to try that. So if anyone knows how to make that or knows the recipe, or anyone who you know makes it in the UK, please let me know. Let me know, because I'm fully about. I'm on that. I'm fully about for that. So please let me know ASAP. Right, let me hit up the super chats for you guys now. Right. Sultan, shout out to Sultan, says, big up, Cal. What do you think the midfield is going to be tomorrow? So I had a little technical glitch there. What do you think the midfield is going to be tomorrow? I'm afraid Milner starts. That guy needs to go. First day of the summer, 2-1 Liverpool, inshallah. I think it's going to be Henderson, Fabinho, and Milner tomorrow, if I'm going to be honest. I do think that is what it's going to be, which is a bit mad. But yeah, that's what I think it's going to be. Which to me is a bit crazy, but I'm not the gaffer, so what can I do? What can I say? But yeah, I'm not happy if that's the starting lineup tomorrow. Can't lie. Pimp in Distress, big up Pimp in Distress, says, you may not know, son, but Jude is done bun Ornstein. Big up to Pops. I got Uncle, I got Pops, I got the whole family in there. So big up to Pimp in Distress. That's a little inside joke with me and him. He knows why he's saying that. We're not just cussing Ornstein. We're saying that for a reason. So yeah, I'm hoping Jude's done. I'm hoping he comes, and I'm hoping that we're there and everyone's taking the mick out of me saying, I remember what you said. You said he weren't coming and he's here now. I'd like nothing more than to be ridiculed because Jude Bellingham is holding that number 8 shirt. That will be absolutely magical. So God willing that happens and people laugh at me, because if people are laughing at me, that means Jude Bellingham's a Liverpool player, right? Can't go wrong with that. So let's make sure that happens. In fact, I'm going to ask you guys to just put a 1 if you think Bellingham's coming, and 2 if you don't think he's coming. Would like to see what you guys think. Shout out to 8092 Reds podcast as well or 892 Reds TV now. Make sure you go and check out their channel, subscribe. Also, make sure you check out Bayesian Reds TV and subscribe there as well. Also, shout out to Ensman TV. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. Also, Jamie Phillips was in the chat earlier. You got Big Six Bants with Monts. So many channels, guys. Make sure you support all the Liverpool channels. Jerry James, Saint LFC TV. Who else have you got? You got Uncle Rod's, obviously. Liverpool 12th man Ghost, still waiting on that channel to start up, bro. Just hint, nudge, just saying. Big up yourself though. Amajit says if City beat us, it's tough for Arsenal next week. Yeah, I don't know. I think Arsenal are past that fear factor of Liverpool now, though. I feel like they turned the corner this season, and we've unfortunately turned the corner, which isn't a good turn. So, yeah, I'm not sure. H says that performance versus Manure at Anfield last year alone deserved that Alcantara permanent rating. Absolutely whizzed all over them. Yeah, look, that is one of the best midfield performances I've seen. Full stop in a Liverpool shirt. Like, he was phenomenal in that game. So yeah, like that's up there. H says Salah is inconsistent technically, very weird. Sourcing versus United, City, Tottenham away, but smelly versus Bournemouth and Forest. That is very true. Shout out to my friend Andre, who's also a Liverpool fan. He always speaks about that. He always talks about Salah's technical ability and says it's crazy how one week he can look like Messi and the next week he can look like just an average player at the park. Technically, it's crazy, but he has those moments. He really does. Shout out to Sam Max Legends with a very, very generous donation. Says, Cal, please drop the beat for the underprivileged and orphan school I fund in Moshi, Tanzania. Sent email to you today. We provide basic education, food, things we take for granted. Do you know what? Big up yourself, Sam Max Legends, man. Do you know that alone deserves a beat drop before I even continue? Big up yourself. Everyone who knows me knows I'm a supporter of things like that. So big up yourself, Sam Max Legends, and I'll make sure I check out that email as well. Question: Alonso or Thiago midfield? PS will make sure they become Liverpool fans. Please do. The more Liverpool fans, the better. That question: Alonso or Thiago? Bloody hell. Alonso. Am I sitting on the fence if I say that we can't judge Thiago until his career is finished? Because Alonso, from the moment he stepped to Liverpool to the day he retired, he was at the highest level, at the highest teams. Won Champions League and FA Cup with Liverpool, didn't obviously win the league, won it all with Real Madrid, if I'm not mistaken, won it all apart from the Champions League with Bayern Munich. Thiago's won it all with Barcelona, won it all with Bayern Munich, won everything barring the Prem and Champions League with Liverpool. In today's game, I might take Thiago. Overall, I might take Xabi Alonso. Alonso he was so good, man. He made the game look so easy. So does Thiago at times as well. I'll have to go Alonso. Sam Max Legend, you put me in a horrible situation with that question. Horrible situation. Eric says, where Kilo at? We need a story or two from him. You got him locked up in the basement card. No, Kilo will be back soon, man. I just know look, if Kilo's not here, I know he's busy doing something. So bless up to Chris Angel. He'll be back soon, man. He'll be back soon. Always miss Chris when he's not on the channel. Alexander, thank you very much for your super sticker. Much appreciated. Appreciate if I can speak. Much appreciated, Alexander. Chainsaw DH says best family on YouTube. By the way, Cal, your channel near 1K. Look, maybe I'm biased. This for me is the best football community on YouTube. Like Big Six shows up there as well. Football Terrace, obviously got Big Six bands with Monts. loads of other channels with great communities. Jamie Phillips is building a really nice community there. I really like what he's doing as well. Maybe I'm biased, and yeah, I am biased, but I think our community is amazing, man. I really do. Like, you guys are goated. Like, there's so many of you that like just bring a vibe to this channel that we get credit for, but really and truly you guys have to take the credit for, because you guys are amazing. So appreciate you. And yeah, my channel, close to 1K. In fact, I'm going to put the link into the channel. If anyone hasn't subscribed, we'd love to get to 1K. Please be generous and just subscribe to the Sanderson Show channel, please, guys. Would be greatly appreciated if you could do that. George says, I'm going to a Caribbean restaurant for the first time. What's the best thing to order? Whew, everything. Everything. What would I start off with? The question, it depends if you've had Caribbean food or not before. Me personally, I'd start off with macaroni cheese, plantain dumpling, white rice, and I'd say jerk chicken. That's like your introductory level into Caribbean food. And then we can start with the snapper and red brim, and you can start with the steamed fish, and you can start moving on to the oxtails and the curry goat and the peppered steak and stuff like that. And the spice prawns and the jerk prawns and all that. So that's what I would recommend. But can't go wrong with you. You need dumpling and plantain as the side. They're essential. H says, have you seen Hendo in the Rondos? Looks like Xavi. Shame he plays like or match day. H, you're something else. Look, here's the thing. Look, I've been quite vocal about this. This is why I get frustrated with Hendo, because I know he has technical ability. I know people laugh at that. Like from back in the day, Hendo, I don't know, a lot of you might not even know or be old enough to know Soccer AM, when they used to do like the skills school, I think it was called, where they would clash one player against another when they were quite young. Henderson was doing mad stuff from back in the day, like doing like round the world with the football and all that. Ask Henderson to hit something, a target, and he hits it. Like, Hendo's got technical ability, just for whatever reason doesn't seem to use it sometimes. It's a shame. Like, yeah, George, make sure you get some good food in you. Jay the activist says Liverpool is beating you up, Carl. Remember why you love Liverpool. No, it is. I love Liverpool though, man. I do. But yeah, this season's been tough, and it ain't even finished yet. Oh, big fist. Festivals. I forgot about festivals and bakes as well. I forgot about bakes and festivals. They may have to roti as well. I forgot about the roti. Oh, my diet's going to be in the mud tomorrow because I'm going to have to get Caribbean now. Thanks, Uncle Rods. Thanks to you guys in the comment section. I'm going to put on more weight over the weekend as opposed to lose weight over the weekend. Thanks, guys. Much appreciated. I see, rundown as well. Doubles as well. I'm in the mud. Bun it, man. YOLO. I'll have to work hard on Monday to Friday next week. It is what it is. It is what it is. Big up to Monts in the building as well. I see you, my bro. People, we are going to wrap up there. It's been a pleasure. Very good call-in show. Appreciate you guys for rocking with me, especially being by myself. I know some of you guys match your favorite or drift your favorite, or you prefer it when it's all free. So do appreciate that you guys stuck around. We stuck to more than 500 for most of the show as well. So please do, if you haven't, smash the like button. Would love to get, let's say, 1,000 likes on this show. So if you're watching this back as well, please do like the show as well. People, keep up to date on social media regarding tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a bit of a techie one for us, but keep an eye on social media and we'll keep you guys posted. That's all I'll say for now. I don't want to give too much away until we know what we're doing behind the scenes, but just follow us on social media. That is Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we'll keep you posted as to what's going on. So I appreciate you all Much love to you all, people. Enjoy the rest of your Friday wherever you're based in the world. Stay safe, most importantly. Love to all your families and your friends. Stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish and we're out, people. Love.
Thank you.